Joe Rogan Podcast. Check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
We're good now? Yeah. But yeah, this is Turkey Merc. He sent us these and some zombie ones.
Sick.
Not the best to drink out of.
You can't drink out of it.
Because it's like curved at the top, so you spill all over
Yeah.
yourself, but who cares?
You got to put something in it and then just have it.
Yeah.
You know?
Like pens or something?
Yeah. Drugs.
Yeah, it would be good for drugs. Look at that face.
It'd be great.
If you had some drugs laying around,
That would
that's
be
where
the-
you'd put them.
That's the spot.
So we were talking about the video that Trump posted. This video of them drone bombing some narco guys in the middle of the ocean.
And Venezuelan drug traffickers, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Venezuelan.
Trendiagua.
Trendiagua.
However you
It's a
say
real
it.
thing.
Yeah.
They're a real thing.
Oh, yeah.
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 You know?
He's accusing the president of Venezuela of being involved. Right?
That could lead to an interesting place, you know? I mean, it could lead to I imagine we're doing that because we're trying to suggest that it would be better if he wasn't the president.
Probably something along those lines. Wait, I mean, isn't there like a bounty on him?
I believe there is.
I think it's like open in public. There's like a $50 million bounty on him.
Yeah, I think they want to get rid of him.
Is that what the number is? Yeah, 50 million. There it is. Placed
They've
a
been
$50 million.
yeah,
United States
bounty.
placed a $50 million bounty for information leading to the arrest of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro.
They've been trying to knock him off for a while.
Yeah, it said he's accusing him of heading a drug trafficking network. I don't know if that's the case, but speaking to Ed Calderon that I had on the other day, who's an expert on Mexico.
Yeah.
And you remember when there was like all the assassinations in the last election?
Yeah.
There's like 37 different assassinations
In Mexico.
Yeah. He said it's because they're all cartel.
Sure.
It's not like they're not just assassinating regular people.
Right.
The cartel's putting these people in to be like the mayor or this or that. And then these other people who have other cartel people are killing them.
So it's warring cartels.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's all warring cartels. So here it is. This is the president is posting assassinations on social media.
Is this okay?
Yeah, we're gonna get the chance to see it. And instant, pretty accurate,
Pretty fucking accurate.
very impressive.
Pretty impressive. A lot of wasted drugs.
Yeah. Well, probably a
lot of wasted
fentanyl in there.
drugs.
Probably bad drugs.
Well, this is a big problem is that the drugs now are worse than they've ever been.
Oh yeah.
I mean, all drugs are bad, but the drugs now seem to be unbelievably bad.
Well, it's the fentanyl.
Yeah.
And Ed was explaining that too.
Yeah.
He's like, the soil that they grow the poppies on to make heroin is so bad, it's so taxed out that the heroin was very weak, and they couldn't sell it. So they had to add fentanyl to the heroin to make it stronger.
And they spice it up. They cut it with fentanyl.
Exactly.
And
that's how it started.
fentanyl is what is killing everybody that's doing cocaine. And it's laced with fentanyl, and then they drop.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
And it all comes from China.
Yeah.
All the fentanyl.
Well, yeah, and I mean,
All the precursors, everything.
it is kind of a way, if you are a foreign country, it is a way to, it is some type of warfare. You know?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different things that they're doing for sure to try to destabilize the United States.
Yeah.
And that which includes social media, which is why I tell people, do not argue with people on social media, because I bet most of those people aren't even real.
Yeah.
There's a giant amount of people that are on social media that are there just to keep arguments going.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lots of bots.
Lots of bots.
Sure.
And this was something that came up yesterday where they were using ChatGPT. So they have sort of a program that runs ChatGPT, so it acts like real humans, and it was attacking people about USAID and
Really?
trans issues and all sorts of different stuff.
Is that Grok?
No, Grok is the AI from X, so that's the Twitter AI.
Right.
So ChatGPT is OpenAI.
That's the based AI, Grok.
Sort of.
Grok is kind of the one who's based.
It got removed for a little bit.
Well,
because
that's how
it
you
said
know
that
it's-
Israel was committing genocide.
What I like about Grok is that occasionally it's removed.
Yeah.
That's how I know Grok's onto something, because it's occasionally put in timeout and then it comes back. Any AI that's not removed, I don't trust. I need an AI that's getting removed pretty frequently when it runs up against an issue.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah. I'm not saying all of Grok is good, but I'm saying I've read Grok and I've said, this is an interesting guy to talk to at a bar because he's saying things that...
A little controversial.
Little fun.
Little fun.
Little fun.
Little out there. Little controversial.
Out there. Pretty wild.
Do you see the German right-wing party? 7 members have died leading up to the election over the last couple days.
And this is the AFD or something?
Yeah.
I saw that. That seems a bit spooky that's going on.
Yeah. A little suspicious. Yeah.
That's very interesting. How did they all die?
Germany's far-right AFD suffers a series of candidate deaths ahead of local votes. Well, I would imagine they were assassinated, Tim.
Right.
No evidence of foul play.
Thank God. Thank God I was worried.
What are the odds that many people that are a part of something die that quickly?
Yeah.
They said it was 6, but today it's 7. A number of deaths has nevertheless raised questions on social media. That said, like, if they really are far-right extremists, maybe they're out there doing fentanyl. Maybe they're wacky people.
Maybe they're doing something. 7 seems like a really inconvenient number of people to die before an election.
Yeah.
That seems to be quite suspect.
Right up there with the Mexican assassinations.
Yeah. Well, this is Europe right now has become, we had our election. So then the UK right now is kind of the most interesting place to watch because of everything that's taking place. And Germany is not far behind. But like this is where a lot of the tumult in the world is coming to a head in like Europe, the UK, things with migration, things with speech that we talked about.
Yeah, the Graham Linehan stuff.
Crazy.
He left this podcast, and I was telling him, why are you going to go back? Like, it seems crazy to go back because he's living in America now.
Right.
I'm like, why are you going to go back? He was like, well, I have to. I have a court case. He's getting sued by some crazy trans person, and goes back and was arrested for 3 tweets.
And what were do we know what the tweets were?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
yeah, one of them is a photo of a trans rally. It says a photo that you can smell.
I mean, it's like so wild that you would be put in handcuffs for that tweet.
The other one,
none of them are obviously,
is a photo of these trans people where he commented, homophobes and misogynists, all of them, fuck them.
Right.
Imagine.
Right. You would think that would put you in the clear.
But imagine.
Yeah.
That's one of the posts that they cited as being the reason for arresting him.
Interesting.
And then the other one is saying that if a man who identifies as a woman enters a woman's bathroom, he is committing we should pull it up just so I get it, so I don't misquote it. I retweeted it, so it's on my Twitter page if you want to find it. But something about that it's I forget how he described the act, but the problem was that he said you should yell, you should call authorities, yell, and if that doesn't work, punch him in the balls.
Right. Fun.
Yeah, fun. So here it is. If a trans-identified male is in a female-only space, he is committing a violent, abusive act. Make a scene, call the cops, and if all else fails, punch him in the balls.
There's
arrested.
Something...
You belong in a locked-up cage for that.
Yeah. Well, there's something really terrifying about the idea that any tweet outside of a direct threat or a harassment campaign or something that falls into that category would get you arrested. Any tweet. This is so innocuous and silly and not at all what you would think would rise to the level. Not that anything should rise to the level, but the fact that they're going to put you in jail for that, it just sends a message to people that they cannot have an opinion counter to whatever the government decides is the right opinion.
Because it's totally illogical. Like they arrested a kid for yelling, "I love bacon." Have you seen that one?
Yeah, because he was supposedly, it was Islamophobic to love bacon.
Right. He was yelling at these...
My Islamophobia and my love of bacon are completely separate things.
not only that, you can
Yeah.
go to Muslim countries
Right.
and yell, "I love bacon." There's no laws against it.
I will be doing it at the Riyadh Comedy Festival very soon. Get your tickets. Get your tickets.
Are you really going to go there?
Of course I am.
Wow.
Why would I not? Would they kill gay people and women? By the way, we've said that about. We say this about every Muslim. Every Muslim country is throwing gay people off the roof all the time. By the
Right.
way, okay. I obviously don't agree with Saudi Arabian policies on women and things like that.
Yeah.
Is it my business to tell Saudi Arabia how to live? Truly,
How big was the check?
$375,000 for one show.
Nice.
That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad.
I'll take that.
I'll watch a behanding for that.
Behanding.
Yeah, it's called a behanding. What happens is they cut the hand off the thief.
Yeah.
Here's
Don't
the thing.
steal.
All the people that have yelled at me for this are also pro letting migrants and refugees into America at very high numbers. Now, the same religion that is supposedly so terrifying that I cannot spend 24 hours in that country is the same religion that all of these migrants and refugees are pretty supportive of that are coming over.
Yeah.
So it feels weird to me that people are getting on a moral high horse and going, it is so dangerous to go to Saudi Arabia for 48 hours. Why? Well, because they do X, Y, and Z. Why do they do that? Well, they're this religion is crazy. I go, okay, but then who's coming into our country? How differently do they feel about all of these things? And then if you poll them, they don't feel that differently.
No.
Like,
There's no room for dissent.
right. So
in that religion.
right. So people that are somewhat radicalized in that religion that are coming into America are supposed to be greeted with open arms, and it's not compassionate, and it's terrible if you suggest that we shouldn't take all of those people because they may not assimilate as easily as people from European nations. You're called a racist, a Nazi, and whatever. But if you want to go to one of those countries that is luxurious, nice, then you're attacked because your morality. I have to, in order to perform in Saudi Arabia, I'm supposed to agree with everything they do. That's crazy.
Yeah. No, there's no logic in a lot of the thinking. I mean, it's silly. But what they're doing with allowing mass migration in the UK, you see it in England and Ireland, and it's really weird. Because, where does this end up? Because it seems like it ends up with some places that have Sharia law.
Yes.
And especially when you consider how many babies they're having versus how many babies the English people. I mean, they're openly talking about it. We're going to outbreed you.
This is why when people talk about this issue, they often use the example of, Western countries not reproducing enough, not replicating their population. And they go, well, there's going to be a crisis because people are not having enough children. So immigration is needed to sustain the population. What they never talk about is why people aren't having enough children. And a lot of it is because economically, they feel like they cannot afford to. Culturally, there have been policies that have, focused on things outside of the family. We haven't had a ton of pro-family policies in Western countries.
There's a little bit of that, but then there's also the issue that a lot of people have careers and they're trying to wait. Okay, so
Sure.
if you're a woman
Yeah.
and you're in your 30s and you've decided
Gross.
you want to have
I'm
a
kidding.
family and you're 35, 36,
Yeah.
as you get older, the odds of you getting pregnant drop pretty radically.
Well, but this is part of the problem in Western societies is we've told women that being a mother is not as fulfilling as working in a Fortune 500 company.
Right.
And I don't know any women that are mothers that regret it or are unhappy. Most of the happiest people I know are women with children.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah, they're very happy if that's what they want. And if they're very
Yes.
miserable if that's not
I'm not
what they
saying
want.
they all should have children, but there's a lot of people. When you meet a young couple with children, I've never met happier people personally
Yeah.
than that.
No, that's true. as long as they're getting along and as long as the woman actually wanted to have children.
Yes.
But there's a lot of women that are like, there's this lady that I knew back in California that it was really sad. She was like super career oriented, and she had a child that was friends with my child, and she was never home. I mean, she would get home at like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
She worked in, high profile business.
Yeah.
And was there all day long. And when she came home, she was exhausted and short tempered, and and
Right.
It was not good. Like, it was not good. And the kid was miserable.
And the kid was upset.
Yeah, but it was a lady that tried to have a kid later in life.
Right.
She was a career woman, and she had, like I said, high profile job, very important job, and the kid was a distraction.
I'm not saying that women aren't capable of having jobs, or there's many women that are amazing in the corporate world, but I am saying that, like, when you completely, center a culture around ideas outside of family, career, money, status, and you build a structure around all of those other things, and you go, well, maybe we'll have one kid to have a bigger house, or maybe we'll have one kid to live in a better neighborhood. And you start going, well, wait a minute. What is the purpose of this? And a lot of that seems to be somewhat by design. And then other cultures come in that do value family and having lots of children.
Yeah.
They are going to outnumber you pretty quickly. And their values will become the values of the larger society.
Yeah, that's true. The other thing that's going on, too, is that from the 60s, 70s, and then when I was a child, you could sustain a family on one income.
That's right.
Today, that's virtually impossible. If you're making $50,000 a year, $60,000, it's really hard. It's really hard to get by.
Yeah.
And if you have a wife and a family, and you have bills and a car and maybe
terrible.
2 cars, it's fucking rough.
Yeah.
And Dave Smith talked about that.
Yeah.
Thank the people who brought us into wars that cost trillions of fucking dollars.
Well, not only that, I was talking to my aunt about immigration, who I like, and she, was basically going, I said, I think you also have to pause legal immigration for a minute. And she goes, well, then who's going to be your doctor? Because she has an Indian doctor.
Oh, boy.
And I said, well, wait a minute.
Hilarious.
I said, hold on.
That's hilarious.
That's what she said. She goes, well, who's going to be your doctor? She's a boomer aunt sitting at my house in Southampton, going, well, who's going to be your doctor? And I go, why are we not training American children to be doctors in America?
What'd she say to that?
She goes, well, no one does their homework. I was a teacher for 30 years, and I know that no one does their homework. And I go, do you think it's possible that nobody does their homework? Because we need 2 incomes to run a house, and kids are left to play video games by themselves, and they're not being parented, So I think this idea of, like, we're importing doctors. You know what I mean? Because this whole idea is like, oh, these are jobs Americans won't do. And then they're like, well, it's agriculture and stuff. And it's like, okay, you can understand some of that. But then you're like, wait a minute. Are you saying Americans don't want to be doctors? That's crazy. They don't want to work in hotels or restaurants. Then you start going, well, what jobs can Americans do? I mean, Mark Andreessen came out, and I don't know if you have the quote, Jamie, but like Mark Andreessen literally was talking about, and I don't have a problem with Mark Andreessen per se. I think this statement was silly. He said, oh, yeah, after AI takes over, like, one of the only jobs that's going to be okay, I swear to God, he said this, is venture capital. He goes, that'll be okay. Because we'll still need to make judgments about what's a worthy investment strategy.
How convenient that his job will be saved.
Well, this is the whole thing. Right. Yeah, right there. Mark Andreessen says one job is mostly saved from AI venture capital. It's just funny to me
That's hilarious.
That this is the direction. If immigrants were taking the jobs of Hollywood screenwriters, they would not be celebrating it. If immigrants were taking the job of people at white shoe law firms, they would not be celebrating it. If they were taking the job of investment bankers, they would not be celebrating it. It's very obvious.
Yeah.
It's not anything wrong with the immigrants who come here. Obviously, that I would come here too to take someone's job because I'd want to survive.
It's just a weird argument, like who's going to be your doctor. It's a really weird argument, and it's kind of, I mean, no disrespect to your aunt.
No, let's do it.
Kind of racist. This episode is brought to you by Visible. Visible is the ultimate wireless hack, and now, with the new Visible Inner Circle, you can forget about family phone plans with no flexibility. With Inner Circle, you can connect accounts with anyone, friends, family, neighbors, you name it. Join for just $25 a month and save $5 per month with every premium line you add. Plus, it's all powered by Verizon with unlimited 5G data, so you get reliable coverage and a connection that you can count on. You unlock savings together without getting locked into a nonsense contract. That means you can leave, switch, or change your circle anytime. Nope, there's no catch. And with personalized payments, you can pay together or keep it separate. Your call. Round up your friends and join today at visible.com/Rogan. $25 per month on the Visible plan. Save $5 per month on eligible plans. Discounts apply to Visible Plus and Visible Plus Pro monthly plans in Inner Circles with 2+ members. The premium plan savings is not stackable with service credits.
It's very racist against whites.
It is. It's also weird. You know, it's a weird argument because it's like all human beings can, of all nationalities and races, can do basically every job. There's people that do it all over the world. The idea that you need
hopefully true. But yes, no, I'm kidding. Yes.
The most racist is like who's going to clean your toilet. Like we've seen
that was Kelly Osbourne on the video. She's like, Mr. Trump, who's going to eat your shit? If you don't have immigrants here, who's going to eat your shit when you shit in a toilet?
By the way, is she in the witness protection program? Because she looks like a totally different human being now.
I don't know what they did. They popped her on somebody Ozemps and they threw her in the shed.
Have you seen the new Alien show that's on Hulu?
No, I haven't.
It's really good. It's an alien show. But one of the things they do is they take like a dying person and they download their consciousness into like a symbiotic organism.
And is this fake or is it real? Like, are they a real dying person?
Well,
it's a fictional thing.
Fictional.
Okay.
It's Alien the movie.
Gotcha.
Like Ridley Scott Alien.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I wonder if that happened to her.
Well, for sure.
Because otherwise, like, how does she look?
That's the problem. You want to defend Hollywood people sometimes against the QAnon stuff, and then you look at them and you're like, oh, God, can you make it easier for me to say you're not a clone? I mean, these young girls are 23 years old and they have so much plastic surgery, they look like they're 47.
It's nuts. They have
crazy.
Botox already and they're in their 20s.
And then all the QAnon people are like, it's because they're not getting enough of the whatever, adrenochrome. And you're like, no, that's not it. And then you look at their faces, you go, oh, shit. Maybe it is it. I mean,
show me a photo of. She looks great. I should say this.
Of course.
I'm just joking around.
We're all kidding.
She hasn't been downloaded into a new body.
Not yet.
But if I had her on the pod, like if someone said, you want Kelly Osbourne to be on the podcast, and I said, sure, and she showed up, I'm like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, it's a fully new head. She has a new head.
Like, that's kind of crazy.
She just got a new head.
That's kind of crazy. The left one, I'm like,
the left one
that's
is
Ozzy.
A lesbian.
Yeah.
And the right one is hot and kind of and seems to be Asian.
Go to the other one, the last one that you showed up, that one. That's kind of.
Can you go to 2003 and 2025? That's my favorite one right there.
Oh, right below that.
Please go to that one.
That one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So the left is me, and then the right, yeah.
That seems so crazy. Like, that is a totally different human. She has a completely different face. Like,
well, it
the jaw
shows
structure.
you.
What did they do to her jaw?
Well, they do all of this stuff now. They break the bones in your face, and then they shave them.
God.
But I think that's nice. I think that's nice that people can get a new head or if they want, because many people struggle with the same head their entire life.
That's true.
But if you're a multimillionaire and you're in Hollywood and you want another head.
God, that's so crazy. She looks great.
She looks great.
It's the opposite of what we used to see with plastic surgery when people got into their 40s, like in the 90s.
You're getting good.
They'd get the weird giant mouth where it looks like they're about to eat someone's whole head.
Yeah.
Where their mouth goes all the way up to their ears because they've been pulling their face back.
They've done a really, really good job at inventing another physical form that you can inhabit. It's great.
never.
It's creepy.
It's never been done before to this extent.
No way.
Because look at the Kardashian lady. What's her name?
Chris.
Yeah.
She
Look at
keeps
her.
getting younger.
Bro.
It's sick.
Her new face
Is great.
is bananas.
It's my favorite of her heads.
And we're just talking about this now, knowing that that's the original head that's been altered.
Correct.
When are we going to be talking about completely actually new heads?
Her second head wasn't as good.
No.
No, her third head is the head.
The new head is bananas.
This is my favorite of her heads.
Okay. She's like 80 years old on the
Yes.
left. And on the right, she's 37.
This woman,
Even her neck looks great.
they figured it out. They got it right.
Crazy.
Now, here's what happens, though. There's a movie called Death Becomes Her. This was a famous movie.
Look at that picture right there, before and after. One that
Yeah.
says before and after. One in the middle of the screen, Jamie?
Yeah.
Right to the right. Middle screen. To the right. To the right. No, that one right there. Click on that one. Yeah. That's nuts.
It's amazing.
That's Kim Kardashian. That's her mom, but that's Kim, right? Like, that's crazy. If you told me that was Kim Kardashian, I was like, oh, I like her with the short hair. She looks beautiful.
There's got to
That's
be.
nuts.
But here's my question for this. There has to be doesn't there have to be a downside?
To that?
Yeah, maybe not.
Listen, you're talking to a guy who's had 2 reconstructed knees.
Right.
So surgery's awesome. To me,
I agree with you.
like, if
I'm
I would
just
be a cripple if I
wondering-
lived in the 1800s.
I'm wondering if
What's the downside?
some of this couldn't possibly her face. You know,
She
when
looks
those
better.
I agree with you.
She looks better than her daughter.
But those BBLs explode.
Well, that's not a good thing. The
So couldn't
BBLs
her face one day
No.
really?
Yeah, because they're just
Good.
removing tissue and they're tightening it up, and they've probably got some techniques with like
I'm
laser
into it.
resurfacing.
I'm into it.
They with laser resurfacing. I don't know if you've ever seen some of that. It's so scary what they look like right after they do it.
Yeah.
You're basically burning off the upper dermis. You're burning off whatever, how much of
Yeah.
a percentage of a millimeter.
Yeah.
And then your whole face becomes a mask that gets removed. It's like the skin gets cooked off, and then you peel it. Like you see them.
Yeah.
It looks like they got torched by a fucking.
Yeah.
Looks like SpaceX. They
Right.
got underneath it.
They got
and took
underneath
it in
it.
the face.
Something I worry a little bit about a society where people keep chasing youth.
Yeah.
My grandfather, my grandmother, old people, wrinkles, wisdom. You know, my grandmother was not running around trying to look like her daughter.
Right.
I worry a little bit about, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with cosmetic surgery and people should look as good as they want. I worry a little bit spiritually, slightly, about where this leads.
That's a good worry.
That's all.
No, that's legitimate.
And I'm saying this as someone who likes her new look.
Yes.
I think she looks good, and I would not tell her to not do it.
Right.
I'm just wondering if someone's 90 and they look 30, I'm a little curious. I guess we're just heading towards everlasting life on Earth.
Well, it depends on what your
Scares
focus
me a little.
is. So if you're a person that focuses on expanding your consciousness and you're constantly reading and you're absorbing new and you just want to have more energy and be youthful, that's great. But if the whole thing you're chasing is I want people to want to fuck me, that gets weird.
Well, not only that, but of course that, but also to me, there's something strange about the denial of death. The denial of that life is finite in a physical form, and the idea that you are going to live forever, to me feels there's got to be some examination of that. Part of this feels like that a little bit.
There's a little bit of that.
Some of these people are trying to live forever, and I'm wondering about that.
Well, they certainly want to stay younger for a lot longer than anybody ever has before. And then you get into the weird realm of a lot of these people that want to do something to the body where it becomes immortal. Right?
Right, and that's very interesting to me, and I
Transhumanism.
yeah, and that to me is a little scary. I don't understand. I'm not smart enough to understand it, and I worry about it from many angles.
Well, it gets weird when it's really rich people.
Right.
Right, because when it's really young people and you want to stay young forever, so you're 23 and you're getting Botox, oh, you poor kid.
Right.
You're just delusional. You don't know what you're doing. You're fucking up. But when you want to stay alive forever and you continue to amass insane amounts of wealth,
right,
that's where it gets weird. Like, you don't want to quit the game. Like, you're in this, having incredible financial influence over the world game.
Yeah.
You're worth $80 billion, $200 billion, and you want to keep that ball rolling.
That to me is a little scary.
Well, it's scary because if the game continues, like, let's look at look at Bezos, for example.
Yeah.
Right? Like, let's imagine that Amazon continues to expand and grow. Bezos continues to profit off of it. And right now he's like, what is he, like 58 or 59 or something like that?
About that, probably.
Well, what would he be when he's 120? Would he have $30 trillion?
He'd have,
you know what I mean?
A lot more than he does now.
And would that...
And his power would grow.
And if people started encroaching on that power and trying to limit it and trying to, that's where it gets weird. They get defensive, right?
Yeah.
If people want to tax the rich, eat the rich, they get a little, and they're like, okay, I got to fucking build thicker walls.
Get the bunkers.
I got to do something.
Well, they
and
just
I also
said,
have to create, work with the government to create some laws.
The World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab just said, and I think it was Klaus Schwab, not Larry Fink, the Blackstone guy, or BlackRock, who's now the interim president or whatever.
Thank God.
Thank God. Someone who understands the issues. But Klaus Schwab is basically like, I believe we're heading towards stakeholder capitalism.
Yeah.
Which is people, private individuals, that have it's a public-private partnership where you have guys like Bill Gates, Elon, Bezos, whoever, people at that level that have a large stake in a public-private partnership that's running society. Yeah. And I think that scares people a little bit, or it's a curiosity because you start going, and it's always kind of been the case. I mean, J.P. Morgan bailed the federal government out years ago. Like, these guys have always had a ton of power, but with tech, the level of power in terms of surveillance and data mining and the power over your life has never been as Orwellian as it is now. And it, even with AI and all of these models, it's even going to get more intrusive.
Yeah.
So I think it's not only these great fortunes, but it's their capability to literally be gods, to literally know what you're thinking, what you fear, what you want, your desires, all of these things, having all your data, knowing everything you do, knowing how fast your heart is beating. You know, all these wearable things that you have that are transmitting frequencies to, someplace where all of your health data is being stored. That's what bothers a lot of people. It's what bothers people about this Palantir thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday.
Yeah.
The Palantir thing is very odd.
A lot of people feel that this is the precursor to a social credit score, a digital kind of police state, and that it's being done under the guise of security, that you will be safer.
Which is what the Patriot Act was brought through with.
That's exactly right.
It's always the case. It's always the case. They always sneak it in like, you got to be safe.
Yeah.
And then you get the Benjamin Franklin quote.
The people that want security, right, they something about they deserve neither.
Yeah.
The trade liberty for security deserve neither. Yeah, I mean, it's true. I just think, Peter Thiel's giving a 4-part lecture on the Antichrist.
Yeah, that seems odd.
4-part. Well, here's what's really wild to me. 4 parts. It's not just one. One lecture on the Antichrist would be insane. This guy's doing a series. He's doing a 4-part lecture on the Antichrist, and nobody in his inner orbit went, Peter, how about one lecture on the Antichrist or no lectures? Not 4.
Well, I don't think he understands the optics.
He certainly does not.
Yeah.
It's odd. Yeah.
Tickets sold out.
Well, of course.
Well, it's a private lecture at a club in San Francisco about the Antichrist. What does he know about the Antichrist? Is he like...
I'm guessing a lot.
If you told me there was a movie and there was a guy who played the Antichrist, zoom in on that image of him.
Yeah.
I would say, oh, is that him? Was that the Antichrist?
This is like me doing a 4-part lecture on Long Island racism. Just to show everybody, how much I know about it and how scary it is and how we got to watch out for it. But it's totally not me or anyone I know. It's no one that's ever been in my backyard, but those others. He's just kind of, leaning in, I guess.
Game on. Week 1 starts now, and every touchdown brings you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Every touchdown could hit big. Don't just watch the game when you can win with it. DraftKings Sportsbook brings the unmatched intensity of the NFL straight to your fingertips. Whether you're backing the first touchdown scorer, hitting anytime TD props, or riding the thrills of live in-game betting, every play is packed with possibility. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, grab over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from your YouTube and YouTube TV. Your season starts now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code Rogan. That's code Rogan to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first bet of $5 or more. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Well, I just don't understand, why. What I would like. Someone saw it. Someone saw one of the lectures that he did on the Antichrist.
Was it good?
It might have been Duncan. He said it was boring.
It's of course going to be boring.
But I don't understand. What is he doing?
He's trying to prove he's not the Antichrist.
By ratting him out.
By doing it. He's like, if I was that's probably how the lecture starts. He goes, now if I was the Antichrist, I obviously wouldn't be doing this lecture.
You know what it's like?
Yeah.
It's like those really shitty men
Yeah.
that become male feminists.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
they tweet, believe all women.
Yeah. Well,
and
no,
you're
no,
like,
yes.
hey.
Yeah.
I know you.
Right. Well,
You're a piece of shit.
Didn't O.J. Simpson write a book called If I Did It?
Yeah, I have a copy of it.
So this is Peter Thiel's version of that. His lecture on the Antichrist is If I Did It.
I think
by
my
O.J.
wife threw it out, honestly.
No.
Yes.
Come on.
She's known to do things like that.
I get it. As a woman, you would see it and go, he doesn't need this.
Well, she thinks it's for because
For
I
fun,
go,
yeah.
somebody gave it to me for fun. It's
Yeah.
signed.
Right.
It was a signed copy.
Amazing.
And sometimes she will throw things like that out if they gather dust for a little too long.
I
and
understand.
I don't lock
Yeah.
it in my office.
If I Did It is laying on the kitchen counter.
But I had a copy of it I didn't even open it.
It's so strange.
Actually, no, I did open it. I opened it a little bit, and I was like, "What?"
It's so strange to have this. You build military AI, military drone, autonomous drone technology to export to war zones all over the world. You build domestic surveillance technology to surveil our friends and neighbors, and then your other pet passion is the Antichrist. It's odd. Wouldn't you include tennis? Wouldn't you go, and I'm big into tennis? Something else. It's odd, and I like ice fishing. I build autonomous drone technology. I build domestic surveillance technology.
And I love lake trout.
And I love lake trout, and I love big mouth bass fishing. But
Yeah.
instead, he goes, and I've also developed quite a keen interest in Satan. And I'd love to talk to everyone about it for 4 fucking things in San Francisco. 4 things in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Seems a bit much.
What's Whitney Webb's take on this?
I bet she's probably, Whitney's research is so unbelievable.
Oh, but by the way, I should say,
Yeah.
before I go any further than that,
Yeah.
Whitney Webb has some strange conspiracy that she believes someone's trying to keep her from being on my show.
Interesting.
Yeah, Whitney, I'll have you on the show. I just haven't reached out because I have thousands of people to go through. That's
He's
all
busy.
it is. I would definitely do it, though.
We've had Whitney
idea
on a
that
bunch.
The idea that I wouldn't do it is incorrect, and I apologize.
She's an enormously...
Autistic?
Well, there's a lot of this. She talks like this a lot, and she's just the pentameter of her voice is very like this. And she goes,
She knows a lot.
she knows a lot about things. She goes, Jeffrey Epstein on the third day in January 1996, he met with this guy. You know, like, but she
With no notes. No notes. She's off
she
the
just
top of the head.
goes.
Yeah.
But she's really enormously amazing at research. Mm-hmm. She's an amazing researcher. She has compiled the data.
Yeah. No,
You know?
she definitely has. And how they kill all those people in Germany? Nobody's whacked her yet.
She's somewhere in South America, I think.
Good move.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But, I mean, how much resources does she have to protect herself down
One of the
there?
reasons I think people like her end up being safe is she writes these very big, very studious books that no one in America reads.
That's it. Where no one, it's not a threat.
It's not a
because
threat.
it doesn't go mainstream.
It's not a threat. Now, these big Hollywood types that go, I'm going to blow the whistle on whatever the hell's going on. They go, bye-bye. You know what I mean? Or a mainstream journalist who's like, I'm going to write an article about something and, it's going to lead to a congressional investigation.
Yeah.
They go, bye-bye.
Yeah. It's when you actually create problems, not when you're just a part of the right-wing conspiracy ecosphere.
Yeah, because they can just dismiss you as a crank, and then you've written volumes of this book, and no one cares. Like, and by the way, I'm not saying it's not a great book. I'm saying it's not moving the needle for them. If you have a hard drive with something on it, USB, if somebody gives you, if you have something that could put them in jail, you're dead.
So how's Anthony Weiner still alive?
Anthony Weiner's still alive because I believe there's two possibilities. Number one, there's a dead man switch somewhere, meaning that there's something somewhere.
You know the story about his laptop with the cops that saw it?
And supposedly they're all dead? Yeah.
A bunch of them.
Crazy.
Yeah, how many cops are dead? Google that. But the other thing is that they said what they saw was so horrific.
Then
And like some of them took their own lives.
Well, that's crazy. That whenever there's so many suicides, I start to get a little. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, what happened here?
Also, did you ever see him on Patrick Bet-David when he starts bringing up the Clinton body count?
Yeah, and
he gets like super defensive.
Well, it's very obvious that
a Grok conversation came up with an answer here.
Grok.
So is it not true?
I don't know.
Okay.
Grok's
a
been
claim that
compromised.
9 of the 12 NYPD officers who viewed Anthony Weiner's laptop subsequently died by suicide has been widely circulated, but it lacks substantiation with concrete evidence linking these officers directly to Weiner's laptop. Here's the details based on available information. Joseph Calabresi, by the way, that guy's on the take.
Right,
That name.
No, of
hey,
course.
Joseph wants a taste. Joseph Calabresi. He sounds like a great chef. NYPD detective allegedly involved in Anthony Weiner investigation was found dead from an apartment self-inflicted gunshot wound, which unfortunately a lot of cops
Have
end up
this,
taking their own
yeah.
lives. There are a lot of PTSD. It's a fucking horrible job. However, there's no direct evidence linking him to viewing the laptop's contents. Okay. Stephen Silks, deputy chief of NYPD, reportedly involved with the laptop investigation, was found dead in apparent suicide. Like Calabresi, no evidence confirms his involvement. Doesn't mean he wasn't involved. Viewing the specific incriminating files on Weiner's laptop. Other officers. Various reports mention a total of 9 NYPD officers who committed suicide in 2019, but no official sources or credible reports explicitly connect these suicides to viewing Weiner's laptop. How could they?
This is one of those non-denial denials. You would have to know somebody in the police force. By the way,
But it also could be bullshit.
it could absolutely be bullshit. But I have zero problem believing that Anthony Weiner had a laptop with some very bad things on it.
Well, for sure, he was involved. Look, they were grooming that guy to be some huge politician.
Absolutely.
And then somehow or another, he's sending his dick pictures to young people.
There's definitely, and it's been exposed, I think, by the Epstein thing. There's an entire ecosystem of depravity amongst the ruling elites that people go to great lengths to cover up. This is obvious.
Yes.
So,
and always has.
And always has forever and ever and ever. And it would be absolutely plausible to me that people have died to cover this stuff up, as Jean-Luc Brunel, Jeffrey Epstein, many others.
Yeah.
Maybe Virginia Giuffre, I don't know. But like, there's tons of questionable deaths linked to the Epstein thing. And, by the way, linked to things like the Franklin scandal that happened many years ago. All of the Gary Caradori was an investigator who supposedly had proof of politicians abusing children. Plane goes down with his kid.
Whitewater.
Yeah. Suspicious deaths.
Vince Foster.
Very suspicious death.
I read that book, The Strange Death of Vince Foster.
Very odd.
In the 90s or whenever it was that I got a copy of that.
Well,
I was
the
like,
Clintons,
this is bananas.
He was the governor of Arkansas when they were running drugs out of Mena, Arkansas to fund the Contras.
Barry Seals.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton was the governor of that state. Bill Clinton reads a book called, it's a famous book by Carol Quigley, I believe called Tragedy and Hope, and it's a history of the 20th century or something. It's this compendium. It's Bill Clinton's favorite author. He reads this book and he's, attends the, Bohemian Grove. He's selected by very wealthy, powerful people to then become a party elder and a leader. And many people believe, myself, is that in order to be selected by that group of people to run for the highest office in the land, they have something on you.
Yeah.
You're to some degree compromised. You've shown willingness to play the game. You've looked the other way, at the very least. Maybe you've engaged, but at the very least, if somebody goes, something's going on in Mena, Arkansas, you go, don't have time for it, and you've shown the willingness to play the game.
Yes.
And so he's the governor of a very small state that isn't Arkansas is a beautiful state, and there's whatever. But he's not, he's not like running a huge state. He's not, a well-known politician. He's a very charismatic, very great speaker, great politician, but from a very small state. He's then elevated very quickly to the standard bearer of the Democratic Party after tons of allegations about inappropriate behavior with women, credible allegations of rape from Juanita Broderick, being the governor during that whole Mena, Arkansas thing. It's well known that there are skeletons in the closet.
It's a good guy that's going to play the game for you.
Yeah, and he knows, and he's going to play the game. And his wife is going to play the game.
But doesn't it go all the way back to college? Like, think about Skull and Bones and all these different things. Like, if you want to be a part of these clubs and little secret societies and organizations, you got to do some weird shit. You got to suck someone's dick. You got to, they got to put a wine bottle up your ass and take a picture of it. There's got to be something
There's got to be some, I think back then there was a ton of that. And I think now there's probably still a lot of that. But I think also now what they do with people, in addition to those things, is they just have the ability with technology to know kind of what you're doing.
Now it's off the charts.
Now it's off the charts.
Now it's off the charts.
Now it's like, now they've got you dead to rights on a lot of shit.
Yeah, if you're doing something fucked up, they know.
They know.
Sure.
They know.
Yeah, and then they're holding on to those cards.
Because back then, you're right. It was almost quaint back then. They were like, come to the tomb, show everybody your dick or whatever, jerk off in the coffin.
Pee in your mouth.
Let Bob pee in your mouth. Now it's gotten to the point where they have you and know what you're doing. You're on the grid, and you've been on the grid for your whole life, by the way.
Yeah.
Now kids growing up, young people growing up have been on the grid their entire life.
The whole life. Everything is out there.
Now people are going, please, Bob, pee in my mouth. Like, just let me have that one night. I'm now surveilled no matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing that a lot of people talk about. D.C. is this hotbed of like everyone in Congress and a lot of people, you know, in the Senate, Congress, White House, whatever. They're all mixed up in these weird shenanigans.
Well, didn't you just have Marjorie Taylor
We're having
Greene?
her on soon. Yeah, it's coming out
You
soon.
have it on
yeah.
soon.
She talks about that a lot.
Yeah. Well, do you remember the D.C. Madam case?
They got rid of her, Deborah Jean
Yeah.
Palfrey.
What
Dead.
happened to her?
Dead.
How inconvenient.
So sad. Unfortunate.
Super unfortunate that a
Super
lady
unfortunate.
who was bringing prostitutes to all these powerful people
Yeah.
wound up dying after she said that she was going to reveal who was on the list.
But that, again, is the... Now think about that. And Epstein is that times 100 because now it's international.
Yeah.
Now you have leaders of all... Like, we've got our congressmen, senators,
Well, you went from millionaires to billionaires.
millionaires to billionaires.
That's the difference.
That's right.
The congressman. I mean, even Nancy Pelosi, that pauper.
Yeah.
What, she's worth a paltry $400 million.
She's
They laugh
nothing.
at
In the
that.
grand scheme of things, she's nothing. She's just an ordinary crook.
Yeah.
And respect to her and her husband for all his returns. 54% or whatever.
More.
Killing it.
Pretty amazing.
Killing it.
I mean, that's why.
Why marry that old witch if you can't get your beak wet?
Because she's got some big yabos.
But you know what I mean? She does have big elbows. But she's another. Why don't they give her a head? She's got that
She
money.
needs a new head.
Get
Yeah.
a head.
Well, I think she doesn't want to do it now because she doesn't want people to not recognize her.
That's true.
Because if you're Kris Kardashian,
Yeah.
and you're wandering
I
around now,
would not know her. If I saw her in Beverly Hills,
Right.
I would not know who that is.
Kelly Osbourne, who's that?
Who knows?
That's not the lady from that show that I used to watch when I was a kid.
No, it's completely a different person.
Yeah, she's hot now.
Is there a possibility there's a Jeffrey Epstein walking around that we don't know who it is?
Is it possible that Jeffrey Epstein didn't die in his cell? And that's all
I was told
horseshit?
by someone who, and this is probably ridiculous, but they said there is a possibility that Epstein is, you know, Les Wexner's got that big house in Ohio.
He's there.
Somebody said it's a possibility, a tiny one, that he's living at Les Wexner's house in Ohio.
If that was true, there would be like
No,
there
I'm
would
not
be a
sick.
service that delivers masseuses.
Of course.
to that house?
Yeah. But
There's no
they'll
way that guy's stopping.
They'll
doing
shut their
creepy
mouth.
Shit.
Here's the other thing. They'll shut their mouth. Because it's very easy. There's obviously the abuse is horrific, but I guarantee there are people that would still shut their mouth.
Yes,
You could find them.
Yeah, I'm
You
sure.
could find them.
Well, I think that's the whole idea behind this, and this is what Eric Weinstein said to me.
Yeah.
He said, "I believe that there are people that curate experiences for people that are very high profile and very wealthy."
That's right, which what I'll be doing in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and Abu Dhabi the night before. Get your tickets
You're
now,
doing
Tim
Abu
Dillon.
Dhabi the night before?
The night before to warm up. October. I'll be in October. Abu Dhabi, October 6th, and then Riyadh, October 8th, and October 7th, the day of rest and remembrance.
Wow.
What are you going to do? What are you going
Are
to do?
you bringing security or what?
Tel Aviv, pay me. Supposedly MBS is a fan of mine. I don't know if that's true, but Sam Morrill told me, and Sam Morrill's not a liar.
Well, why
his
wouldn't he
agent
be a
told
fan?
him.
You're talking shit about all the people he hates.
Well, I have fun. I think MBS has fun. I have a fun life. I don't apologize. I think we have a good time on this planet. We don't hurt other people. We don't do anything wrong. I don't know what he's doing. Perhaps he's hurt others. I wasn't in the room. And and I think that, you know, I believe in luxury as a concept. They want the Middle East to be a little more progressive. They want it to be luxurious.
Women can drive now.
Women are driving. Listen, if we don't want the gays going off the roof. Obviously, I don't want to be thrown off a roof, but do we need them with the purple hair and the 15 genders? No, let's stop somewhere in the middle. Maybe we stop somewhere in the middle.
So maybe he's just like an agent of change.
That's what I'm going with. He's perhaps an agent of change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See.
I don't think listen, there were comics who went to perform in Israel that got stuck there because of the Iran-Israel war, and they had to get out.
Yeah.
I didn't go, how dare you perform there? You
Right.
know? You went to Israel to perform. Okay.
Well, in Israel right now, where they went to perform, Tel Aviv, there's massive protests on the street about what's happening in Gaza. In Israel.
Yes. That's right. People are sick of it. They've had enough of it.
500,000 people in Tel Aviv.
Yes.
On the streets.
Yeah. I mean, they want Netanyahu. I think a lot of people have started to, they're seeing the grift here. Netanyahu is he wants this war to go on for decades.
Well, he's been running that country for how long now?
He's been running it a long time. They haven't had elections in a while. He's got this war, this crisis government or whatever they've compiled. I mean, I think it's time to, a lot of people are going, enough is enough.
Well, thank God the Nelk boys got to the bottom of everything.
They got to the bottom of it, and, it was a brilliant, I didn't know how he felt about Burger King. I never knew. And now I do. Well, listen, we have these shows. Everybody has a platform. Everybody wants to be on these shows, and everybody has a line of bullshit. We know it. It's the way it is.
Yes.
It's the way it is. It's unavoidable. You can't avoid it. People get mad. You talk to who? Yeah. It's what it is. You're listening to the thing. Maybe I do a great job. Maybe I do an okay job. Maybe I do a bad job. I don't know. But you're the person listening. You can choose to like it, dislike it. You can say that guy's full of shit. You can say I agree with him there, but I don't agree with him there. You could say I distrust this person. You could say he makes my spidey senses go off. Those are all available. You can have any of those thoughts.
And you could also have the thought that you shouldn't be talking to that person.
You can also have the thought that you shouldn't be talking to that person.
Yeah, when people have that thought with me.
And that's fair.
Or that I don't push back hard enough, or you're allowed to think all those things. Everybody's allowed to have their own opinions on all this shit.
Everyone's allowed.
But, we're living in the wildest fucking time.
This is the wildest time probably that I can remember. I'm sure there's other wilder times.
Well, I think this is globally the wildest time ever because there's never been a connection like this with everybody and everything.
A guy who's perpetuating an ethnic cleansing, going on the podcast of prank video influencers to discuss Burger King is one of the craziest things I've seen in my life.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Also, wasn't there like pre-prepared questions that they had to stick to?
Number one, there were pre-prepared questions. Number two, Burger King does suck. Number three,
I liked them when I was a kid.
They fell off. Wendy's fell off. It was all great.
Wendy's fell off since when?
Wendy's has fallen off so hard. In the 90s, it was one of the best restaurants in the country.
But don't they still use fresh, not frozen? Or is that bullshit now?
Everybody's full of shit. I don't know. It's not good. It's not the same.
I always thought they were the best.
They were the best. In the 90s and the early 2000s, they were the best.
When I was coming home from the comedy store, if I was a naughty boy and I wanted to get some food, and I was like, I gotta get something.
Yeah.
I'm so hungry.
Yeah.
That was the move. If there was a Wendy's and a McDonald's, there's no question. I'm going to Wendy's.
I think when you start with the pre-programmed questions and it becomes... It's not an interview. It becomes... Because we all know there's interviews. There's good ones. There's bad ones. There's things you wish you'd asked to go, I should have blah, blah, blah.
It's a bit of a circus.
It's a circus.
Yeah. By the way...
And it's a staged publicity op.
I would have done pre-programmed questions with Kamala. If they had questions, I don't have a problem with those. As long as you give me the... So she's willing to...
I'll send you the questions.
So these are the questions. As long as it's pertinent, these are the questions?
Yeah. You could have given her 30 pre-programmed questions and 2 months to prepare, and it would have been a mess.
That's my thought.
It would have been a train wreck either way.
It would have been a lot of fun.
This kid from Subway Takes or whatever in New York City, this guy who does these Subway interviews, just said we didn't put out the Kamala Harris one. It was so bad.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Literally just came out and said, we didn't want to tank her chances. It was terrible. She had this weird answer that made no sense, and we didn't put it out. Wow.
Who's that guy?
It's some guy. I don't know. Some guy on the sea does a Subway thing. Maybe I'm not saying the right. Maybe it's not Subway Takes. I think it is. I think I'm right.
Here it is. Creator of Subway Takes 100% disagrees. The entertainer Kareem Rama discusses Kamala Harris's missed opportunity on his show, meeting Andrew Cuomo, and why disagreement is more fun. What does that mean? TikTok version of The Tonight Show, wholesome, relatable comedy, even if some episodes acknowledge the existence of opioids and dick pics. The premise is exactly what it sounds like. The host, Kareem Rama, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, Rama, sits on a New York subway and asks, so what's your take? The guest slings a take. The internet rocks, for example. This is dumb.
We're not going to get to the answer. blocked off with the thing.
Well, so
okay.
the whole thing is she went on the show. He asked her something. She said something wild. Her team and him decided this is not good.
Wasn't it like bacon is a spice? Wasn't that one of them? Was that the same
She's
guy?
a psychopath.
Fresh proof that America dodged Kamala bullet besides her kid gloves treatment for. Oh, they released some of it.
Oh.
Okay, let's click on that.
I think it's him talking about.
I think it's him talking about it. I don't think they've ever released it.
Well, let me hear that.
Well, I mean,
Let me hear him say that.
Her take was really confusing and weird and not good. And so mutually agreed that we shouldn't publish it.
Kamala Harris.
Whoa.
Yeah. Odd.
Confusing and weird. Do you think she's medicated?
I think she throws him back.
But is it just that?
No,
Because
she's got
I
a
have
couple of
feeling
pills.
There's
Yeah.
an anti-anxiety element.
No, she's got a couple of Xanny bars down the old gullet.
Okay, so it is. She reportedly said she'd talk about how she doesn't like to take her shoes off on airplanes. Okay, but Rama said that she instead pivoted to a really, really bad take that made no sense. Bacon is a spice.
That's one of the more coherent things I've heard her say, by the way.
Okay.
It's actually better than most of her.
Whether that was actually her idea or the advice of overpaid consultants. This is another thing. That campaign was it had the elements, all the elements. If I was an investigator, that campaign had all the elements of money laundering.
Right.
You blew $1.5 billion over the course of a few months, and so much of it went to NGOs.
Of course.
Right? So much of it went to these weird nonprofits that
Yes.
were supposedly going to help your campaign.
Yeah.
And, well, who's at those NGOs? This is like
Right.
the LA Fire Fund.
That's right.
Right? It's like, okay, you gave the money to 188 different nonprofits.
Right.
That all have overhead. And, like, what about the people that lost the house?
Right.
Isn't there, like, one guy who could just start cutting checks?
Right.
You've got $800 million or whatever you got.
You're paying the salaries of people
Right.
that work at an organization.
Which is kind of a money laundering operation,
Absolutely.
especially when you find out that some of these people make upwards of $1 million a year.
Well, what they're going to do with this LA Fires land is still up in the air, but they had proposed zoning the Palisades for low-income housing, and people threw a big fit. And I think that they have backed off on that. I'm unsure, but I think Newsom is backing off on that because he is now positioning himself to be the Democratic presidential nominee. He's always been, but now he's really doing it. And to his credit, he's having success, like in this moment.
Well, you know, some of the success that they're hanging their hat on is his social media campaign where he talks like Trump. So he's got
Yes.
a bunch of people from his organization
Yes.
that tweet for him.
Yes.
And they tweet like Trump, and they're saying this has elevated him in the public's eye.
Yes.
That's fucking terrifying.
It's terrifying. He's starting to learn the internet, sensibility, which is heavily trolling. Does very well. All this stuff. What he has is a terrible record in California.
Yeah.
And he's done terrible things to people's real lives.
yeah.
But he's succeeding on the internet. So
That's enough.
that's enough.
That's the thing.
But
You
that's
don't have to
truly
be
enough.
perfect.
You don't have to be perfect. He's having fun on the internet,
Yeah.
and the state is burned. And people forget because that was a few months ago, and people have short memories. They go, "That tweet was fun." He did a post on X that was fun, and it doesn't matter that they let all the criminals out in California and burned everyone's house. You know?
Yeah, it's that's how bad the Democratic Party is right now.
And he's not even the worst of them. He's bad. But the people go so much further than him. The problem with Gavin Newsom is that he's kind of an empty suit who is in the wind will go whichever way.
Yeah.
So in a time like 2020, when everybody is incredibly like in the grips of mania, and they're like, rioting's good, rioting's protesting.
Yeah.
Burning-
Defund the police.
Defund the police. Let's get rid of cops. Gavin Newsom puts out a bunch of crazy social media posts about like the importance of resistance and all this crap, and throws his own police force under the bus.
Yeah.
It's insane. But then when the pendulum swings back the other way, Gavin Newsom now becomes a sensible conservative that wants to, or a sensible Democrat that wants to reach out to conservatives. And, he's like the hollow man.
Yeah.
He just wants to win. And that might be enough.
It might be enough. Well, there's not a lot of other options.
No.
This is the thing. Like we are now entering into 2026. Okay. So we only have 4 years from 2024 to 2028. It's really only 2 years, because everybody has to get accustomed to these people.
Yeah.
They have to be in the public eye. It's not when someone's going to run for president within the last 6 months and they're going to win.
Right.
You need someone who's out there for minimum of 24 months.
Yes.
So who else? We're in 2026, right? So we have 2 years left.
Trump,
so who?
Yeah, it's him. It's Gavin.
It has to be.
Now, on the right, there's going to be a power struggle, and either Trump will live through his term. Let's hope he does. But he's 80, so you never know. But he's healthy enough right now.
Allegedly healthy enough.
Allegedly healthy enough.
Yeah.
If he lives through his term and he knights somebody, whether it's JD or whoever, that will be the person. There is a world in which he doesn't knight anyone. And there is a real power struggle between different factions of that party.
Well, what are the factions? So you have JD.
You have JD.
The vice president, who's the obvious.
The obvious.
And then the problem with Ron DeSantis is he wore stilts.
Ron DeSantis has a cop energy. He has a guy that pulled you over energy, and you go, was it really 85? He's a prick. No one likes him. He offends everyone. I know a friend who's in finance. A bunch of hedge fund guys went down to Florida. This was in like the throes of the campaign. He ended up insulting all of them. He's dismissive of people. He doesn't have it. The question is, Vance, who's smart, does Vance have it? There's doubts, real doubts, that if he has it or not. I like him as a guy. There's doubts. I'm not saying he doesn't have it.
What are the doubts?
That he doesn't have it. He doesn't have the charisma. He's stiff as a board. He's a klutz. He dropped a trophy. He's not articulate enough. He doesn't have it.
Still young.
Sure, but I'm
That's the
saying these
thing,
are the
too.
doubts.
Yeah.
He's young. He doesn't have the gravitas.
Right.
The wife's maybe not super into it. I don't know.
Right.
These are the doubts.
Right.
These are the doubts you got to overcome if you want to win.
All right. If not him, who else is it?
MTG.
For real?
For realsies. Heard it here first. Get on the train now.
You're serious?
Get on the train now. I might be involved. Get on the train now. Buy the stock now. Buy the crypto now. Buy the Ethereum now. We're launching a coin soon.
The coin is crazy.
Step 1 is the coin. Step 2 is the announcement.
Yeah.
Step 3 is the campaign. Step 4 is her running the country, which I don't think is super important, but the first 3 are important. Coin launch, hugely important.
You got to get in the first couple of days and
MTG has
get
come
out
out
in the first couple of days.
MTG, whether it's her or not, she's surprisingly weirdly capable. She's kind of a tough bitch. She ran a construction company, all this stuff. She's going to be able to go out there and say, America first, not Israel first. And Vance might wear. There's not enough daylight between him and Trump on Israel. MTG is going to take advantage of that. That's my guess. Get on the train.
Wow.
But maybe I'm wrong. But am I?
Has she voiced any?
She hasn't voiced it yet. But let's be honest. She's positioning herself. You can see it. She's positioning herself to run for president of the United States.
What is the wackiest shit that she's ever said?
I don't know. Something about the Jews and the weather. But let's be honest. Who knows what they're doing? These hurricanes come and go. What's going on?
MTG threatens to say every damn name on the House floor over Jeffrey Epstein clients 2 hours ago.
This is fun. Part of being the president now is spectacle. She gets it. She sees Trump. She goes, he put on a goddamn show. She's putting on a fucking show and a half.
Also, if you're a woman, there's an advantage that you have in that you are not fucking underage people.
No, and she's single.
Right.
She's single woman.
That's wild.
She's not, meaning that she doesn't have a husband who works for BlackRock.
Right.
You know what I mean?
She's a Lenny Kravitz song.
Now, why is AOC shutting her mouth about Israel? Because AOC's donors are big Israeli tech people. She's been silenced, and she's trying to run for president too.
Really?
Yeah.
She'll struggle.
She's not going to win. She's a goofball. She'll be making mojitos. She's a goofball. She doesn't have it. She's a goof. But here's the reality. She's shutting her mouth about Israel. Is AOC out there about Israel? No. No, because she's a fraud. But the smelly, gross anarcho-communists in Brooklyn, to their credit, know she's a fraud. They know she's a fraud. In between their, whatever, open mic nights and whatever, they figured out... Poetry slams and dog walking. They figured out that this bitch is a fraud. Big time.
Yeah, I don't think she was when she first started.
She wasn't, but she's realized she's ambitious.
She likes nice bags.
She likes nice bags.
That's what it is.
She's ambitious. She wants to be the president.
You realize that job can get you hundreds of millions of dollars. Look what happened.
Can you get up who her donors are, Jimmy? These Israeli tech people. It's kind of interesting because this actually just kind of came out. This is coming out more and more. MTG is one of these people that now she said some wild stuff. She wasn't media trained. Okay, she came out. She made some unfortunate statements about Jewish people and the weather, perhaps.
Did she do? I want to know.
She said something about Jewish space lasers. But Joe, why do the hurricanes always hit the west coast of Florida? That's where they never hit the east coast. They don't hit Boca.
The water is warmer or something.
So say you. The point is, whatever. But is it, or the laser?
The hurricanes never hit the East Coast? Is that true?
Yes, they hit the West Coast, which is where all the Christians live from the Midwest and Canada. All the Jewish people on the East Coast don't get hurricanes. They get a little bit of flooding. And when Marjorie wins, we're going to get to the bottom of it.
So if you want to buy property, you buy it on the East Coast of Florida?
That's what they're saying.
Is that like Mar-a-Lago? Is that the East Coast?
Correct. Ding, ding.
Really? Okay, what does she say? Marjorie Taylor Greene has offered an amendment to the Israel funding bill to create space lasers. This is not a parody. MTG literally wants to appropriate money for a Jewish space laser. But what does that mean? She wants to fund space lasers?
I thought she was against it, but now maybe she's for them.
In 2018. It was back then. It was different times.
It's different times.
She wanted the space laser.
She was asking
2024,
questions.
It says it.
Now she wants the laser.
Okay.
Because
look at her face.
Why should they? Right.
Oh,
why
Joy Reid's talking about
why
it.
Why should
which
they
makes
have
it real.
space lasers? We should all have them.
Joy Reid probably believes space lasers are racist.
That's right.
A 2018 post she made theorizing, in quotes, that Jewish space lasers started wildfires in California. Now she's saying the United States deserves this type of defense for our southern border. Okay, I don't think Jewish space lasers did that, but there was a real concern with the wildfires of Ontario.
Yes.
That so many of them started simultaneously over a large distance that it is almost impossible that this was not some sort of a concerted effort to start this fire. And then there was the question, were they experimenting with some sort of space or satellite-based energy weapon?
Well,
I don't even know if it got away with it because it's conveniently in the middle of the woods.
What about these floods in Texas? With the cloud seeding?
Yeah.
This is a problem.
Well, they were cloud seeding just a few days before that.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Well, that's also the problem that happened in Abu Dhabi, or no, Dubai.
That's right.
In Dubai, where they openly admit that
they're manipulating the weather.
Yes.
All these people are manipulating the weather.
Where are you going in Abu Dhabi? They do it once a week. Hopefully you'll get there on a rainy day.
Well, we'll see.
They do it every week.
They manipulate the weather every week?
Every week.
Well, good.
Well, it's how you keep everything green, Tim.
Listen, my concern is like my own country, and any country that wants to offer me a large sum of money to go and perform, I will do it.
Coming soon to the Congo.
Yeah, I will absolutely do South Sudan, Darfur, Angola. All of it. I'll absolutely do South Sudan. Tim Dillon live in South Sudan. Absolutely will do it.
Yo.
Wouldn't you go to Saudi Arabia?
I'm busy.
Yeah, but
I have to stay here.
you're
I have a
doing.
lot to do.
You're also doing well enough.
2 Israeli startup entrepreneurs played roles in the rise of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She pulled out of an event commemorating Rabin. Some concluded that AOC doesn't like Israelis, but 2 were instrumental in the lawmaker's early career. That's where it gets weird. They find you when
Interesting.
you're young.
They find you when you're making mojitos.
They find you when you're young and promising, like J.D. Vance.
Well, that's the thing. JD's going to have to, if he wants to be the president, he's going to have to say, Peter Thiel, I'm
is the
not.
Antichrist.
He's going to have to say, Peter Thiel is Satan, and here's why that's good. JD has to get out there and go, wouldn't you rather know who Satan is and be friends with him and have dinner with him than have it be like, who's Satan?
Right.
So he's got to get out there and say, I happen to be friends with Satan. And I want that to be
He's misunderstood.
I want it to be destigmatized.
Right. If Satan could go on the Nelk Boys, maybe they could straighten it out.
That's right. Peter Thiel on the Nelk Boys, when they go, what do you think about fast food? And he goes, I take 1 pill every day to survive. And it gives me all of my nutrients.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Peter Thiel eats food like a person. I think it's like he has some type of,
What?
you know.
What do you think?
I think a lot of these tech people, like, they don't like food. They're not food people, a lot of these tech people. I went to a few of these tech things in Austin. It's not, the food's never the thing. They're not like food people. They're not like, ooh, let me eat food. Like wasps are not either. Like real old school, like waspy.
Didn't you get invited to have lunch or something, or dinner with Peter?
Yes, I said no.
Did you?
I said no. I'm a little wary of that circle of people, and I'm not saying there's anything inherently evil about them because obviously there's people in there. I don't know that I want to go to a dinner with someone who's going to talk endlessly about the Antichrist.
But yet you'll go to Saudi Arabia
Yeah, of course,
and perform.
of course.
I've been to Peter's house twice.
Yeah.
I went once with dinner with Eric Weinstein. I forget who else. And then the second time he brought me in because they were going to have lunch with Eric Von Daniken.
Oh, the guy, the Chariots of the Gods.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in. And I know so much about that. So
Yeah.
I was asking him all these questions.
I'm sure he's a very nice guy. Like Peter Thiel. People
He is a
that
nice
know
guy.
him
I've
go,
had
he's
him
a
on the
nice guy.
podcast.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
I get invited to a lot of dinners and a lot of things. And what I try to do is I try to say to myself, I need to be able to criticize people and
Right.
make fun of them.
Right.
So, it felt like really weird to go to this guy's house and then shit on him the next day.
Do you think that's part of the strategy of inviting you to go to places?
Yes.
Yeah. I
Most
think so,
likely.
too.
But it
Yeah.
doesn't work because I can't shut my mouth. I can't shut my mouth. So, I mean, I've said things, people in my own family get mad at me because I can't shut my mouth.
Yeah.
So it's certainly not going to work. If you're a billionaire invites me somewhere, it's not going to work. So then you're probably going to have to kill me. And I'd rather you not.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I see what you're saying. Well, you can't get too close.
I don't want to get super close, only
Yeah.
because, like, to me, it's like I like my show because I can talk shit and say things, and I just can't. I don't want to censor myself, and I don't know how to censor myself, and I wouldn't be fun or good
Right.
at what I do if I censored myself. And I think that, like, you know, a lot of people out there in the world are under the impression that they can. Everyone has an agenda. And that's completely understandable. And I think what they try to do is sometimes launder that agenda through some cultural space, however they want to do it, you know?
Yeah.
And that's happened forever. It's not new. It's not unique because there's an internet. 1,000%. There's people that want the world to look a certain way, but they don't come out and tell you exactly how they want it to look.
Right.
They figure out a way to kind of like, let's filter this. So I'm trying to, when I look at that and I go, because I think it was a very nice dinner, and I think what he wants, like, I'm sure it was like a lovely, like, he goes, I want to talk about the media, and you're like a comedian, but you're in the media, and like, you know, he has a bunch of people to his house. There's probably smart people that go.
Yeah, he likes to have
And they
these
talk about the media.
big thought, like
Right.
think tank conversations.
Yeah, and I just felt like that didn't appeal to me.
Well, that's why he had Von Daniken over
Yeah.
for lunch, right? So
Right.
it's not all evil. It's like, what is
No.
this about?
The thing is, it's a lot, when people, what would really shock people in America is how much a lot of the super elites are not, it's not like it's all and I'm sure some of it is, some club they're all in, but it's not like they're all lizards or it's an ancient blood cult.
Right.
A lot of it is like they will feed you and your family into a mulcher so they can live 2 blocks closer to the beach. It's just that things have always been good and they want them to stay good. Mm-hmm. So somebody told me once it's the highest levels of society perpetuating themselves and just staying at the top of the food chain.
Right.
And 90% of them have no idea what's going on and they're just rich and they just woke up rich and things are good and they could ski in Aspen or they could go to the wherever, Hamptons or Beverly Hills or whatever, or here, the beautiful areas here. And then 10% of those people are earning the money. They're the scions of the dynasties, or they're the CEOs, or they're the hedge fund managers, or the private equity people. And then 1 or 2% of those people are truly nefarious. Those are the people who are fun. And I mean, those are the people who are, those are the guys who are in that, whatever that smoke-filled room is.
Well, the also thing, to get to the top of that kind of a business, you have to be a bit of a sociopath.
For sure.
Right. And you have to be kind of
100%.
calculated. This is where it's fascinating, like what Bill Gates has done in his career, where he's pivoted to become this guy who's like really concentrated on global health.
Right.
And philanthropy.
Yes.
All of his time is now spent on philanthropy.
Yes. Well, it's a great way to launder money. Mm-hmm. That's huge. It's a great way to launder money.
It's also a great way to launder your image.
Great way to launder your image.
Well, I remember him in the 90s where everybody was mad at him. He was the antitrust guy. He was constantly in court about that.
Well, that's why he went to Epstein's Island, because he was doing an ecological survey of the area. He was studying beach erosion. But this is the thing. Throughout history, these people have never been caught red-handed. Now they're kind of getting caught red-handed, and now they're employing every means at their disposal to keep a lot of this stuff quiet. Yeah. Not only that, I think my personal theory is that someone took a lot of these people in a room 20 years ago and went, listen, as soon as AI is out of the bottle, you got 5 or 10 years before the world's wild. Build your bunkers, steal the money, take whatever you can, get it off the government balance sheet, however you're going to do it, because let Detroit go. Who gives a fuck? Don't give them health care. Doesn't matter. Don't fix the infrastructure. Don't fix the schools. From when AI's out of the box, you have 5, 7, 10 years, probably closer to 10, 15 years before shit gets really fucking weird. So get your money now, and it's going to get...
What do you think get really weird looks like?
Just massive unemployment, civil unrest, autonomous police forces, AI running large sectors of the government, just weird shit. Mm-hmm. And then that to me is probably one of the reasons that, and I'm not saying it was one big meeting, but I think they know, and now maybe it's a folly. Like people like Andy Jacobson go, the nukes start flying, everyone's dead, we don't care how many bunkers they have, whatever. Who knows? Maybe it is a folly. That being said, we've got underground cities all over the country. The government's, prepared, obviously, and has been for a while. All of these private citizens are now worth in the hundreds of billions, some of them. A lot of them are billionaires. They're trying to hedge their bets in whatever way they can. Teals famously has this thing in New Zealand, or wants to be in New Zealand if things go haywire.
That's where everybody wants to go, right?
They all want to go to New Zealand.
Why New Zealand?
It's beautiful. It's an island.
Yeah,
it's
but
gorgeous.
is there like some sort of a theory of how that survives? Some sort of apocalyptic?
I don't know.
Small population, rich natural resources.
All of that.
A lot of food.
All of that. And I think that it feels like they're preparing for something. It doesn't feel paranoid to suggest that they know it's going to get very weird. I mean, there's people falling in love with chatbots.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to get odd.
Well, then it's chatbots talking you into killing yourself.
That's also
teaching
happening.
You how to make a better noose.
That's what's happening. So, I mean, I think there's, here's a real question, an interesting question. Are the elites in our country, and I mean, not just rich people, I mean, people that own companies that control large sectors of the economy, are they believing that 2050 is going to be, will we still have the United States of America? That's a real interesting question, because all of these tech people talk like we won't.
Really?
Yeah, a lot
so? What do they say?
Well, basically, they've talked about the need to, one of the biggest startups during the pandemic was, and Thiel was an investor in this, was let's go buy a plot of land somewhere in the world and run a country on crypto and make it like a libertarian paradise. It was called Praxis. And they did this. This was a big startup, but it got, a good amount of funding because.
Where'd they want to go?
They were talking about like Madagascar, I think. They were talking about other places. But you're looking
I'm not aware of this.
Oh, it was a real thing. I mean, it was.
Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
Jamie?
Yeah,
Sorta?
it was real. You look it up. I mean, it's there.
So they were talking about using crypto and funding a new country?
Yeah, they I don't think the tech people want. I mean, and I met these kids. They were nice kids, but.
Praxis states that it has 2,034
Yeah.
citizens, 124 companies. The companies founded by Praxis members have an aggregate valuation of $452 billion. Although, which is good for the economy for about 6 weeks.
Right.
Although original Praxis plans include development in the Mediterranean, the company has explored Greenland as a site.
The tech people don't, I think they see the future of America as more feudalism than a representative democracy.
Look at this. Reclaim the West.
Yeah.
The world's first digital nation. What?
Yeah. It's a real thing.
So now it says 922 billion value of Praxis founded companies. Now there's 103,000 Praxians. Look at this bizarre
this is what the architecture is going to look
side
like.
of a fucking cliff, so that when it all goes south, you could just leap to your death at any moment.
But it's aesthetically pleasing.
Or they could just chuck you off when your tweets don't align with their company's objectives.
But this is one example of something that I think it's a little bit of the quiet part out loud, where I think a lot of the tech people have given up on the idea of America as a nation state. Not all of them.
What
but
is
some of
this? Atlas, California proposes Atlas, California, a defense-focused spaceport city on 3,850 acres in Vandenberg Space Force Base, located on the California coast between Los Angeles and San Francisco. Vandenberg already hosts SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Relativity Space. Atlas will concentrate elite engineering talent with DoD assets to solve the defense challenges that will determine America's survival.
Yeah.
What?
It's another Manhattan project.
Go to the image that's above the header. Look at this fucking image of this place.
I think none of this is actually happening. I think it's more pretend per se, but I don't know.
Oh, it's just a couple months ago, June 4th.
They'd like it to happen.
This is weird.
But do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like the main concern here is America.
Right.
In any recognizable way.
It seems like they're preparing for the fall.
That seems to be what it is.
Yeah, that seems like you're preparing for the fall of America.
1,000%.
And defend the West on Earth and beyond.
By the way, not defend America.
Right.
Defend the West.
Yes.
Right. Interesting.
Look at this quote. We built the arsenal of democracy, split the atom, and reached the moon. Now we must build the city that wins this century. What?
Yeah.
Atlas is where America's engineers will develop the technologies that secure our future. Join us. This sounds like how they get you. This is the end. Yeah.
Make a cool video, and I'm in.
Yeah.
I would.
Good music behind it.
I'm hoping after this they offer me a tiny little plot to do a podcast,
Yeah,
interview them about their work.
Right, like a discovery property.
Yeah.
So this idea is that when AI gets out of the box, as you say, the world's like filled with chaos, crime is rampant,
Yes.
it's madness, and then at that point, these guys wall themselves off, use all of their money, and defend the West.
That seems to be what it's like.
Defending is a weird.
Defending.
Yeah, it's a weird way of phrasing things because you're not saying, we look to establish a beautiful, harmonious community that
No, there is an element, I think, of
defense.
Yeah, and they're defending them
from an assault.
From maybe the
defend the West.
But it's also like maybe you're defending them from forces that are
aliens.
Well, sure, or they're domestic. They're Americans.
Right.
It could also be,
Transcendent. There it is.
That is.
Okay, inspired by the wisdom of great civilizations, we believe that true sovereignty is achieved through alignment with the transcendent.
Yeah.
You can't just say that.
This is going to all end up to just be like a line of skincare products at the end. Like it's just going to be like, fuck it.
Brian Johnson's vitamins.
Yeah, it's just Brian Johnson's vitamins and Kris Jenner's
stay
new
alive
head.
forever. The Praxian way of life is driven by a vital energy that seeks transcendence through heroic action and contemplation. Our mission is to channel this drive into a cohesive way of life forged by social structures and institutions that guide our people toward their destiny. You just said nothing.
It's nothing, and so what it is opting out. There's America. And
Go
they're
to the
opting
top.
out.
That looks like a mushroom.
Yeah.
That's a mushroom cap. Are you guys doing shrooms? Because now I'm in.
Well, they're certainly doing shrooms.
Well, now I'm in.
They're certainly doing shrooms.
I want to go here.
I'm not saying this
I don't think I have enough money.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying this is kind of, and they're not going to be the only ones.
I need to up my game.
They're not going to be the only ones.
I need to get in on this club because I want to defend freedom or whatever.
The West.
I want to defend the rest. You can join their Discord. They have a Discord server.
Yeah.
Our primary centers...
Join the nation, take the pledge, and build the future of the West.
Our work primarily centers around developing culture and institutions that promote the Praxian way of life. Boy, this is creepy. Yeah. Because increase our
Teal
economic...
was a big... He funded this. Well, part of the funding. Fun.
That makes sense.
Sure.
If you're going to,
If you're the Antichrist, you want to at least have a little bit of a say of what goes on here.
Could you imagine if they really do know something and, like, the Antichrist is a real thing? Like, imagine
it's very
if, like,
possible.
You get to the highest levels of these meetings and they say, look, all this biblical stuff is actually based on reality.
Yeah.
And there's something coming and it will be like revelations in the Bible. There's going to be something that goes down.
It could very possibly happen. It is interesting to think about the Antichrist and then this all-powerful dark figure. Again, not more powerful than God, but like a problem, like a real problem.
A real problem.
And then that person has to have lunch with J.D. Vance. That's like an odd...
Well, if human beings...
You don't picture that. But
if you think about religion as being something that serves human beings,
sure,
and God wants human beings to, like, what would be the Antichrist? What would be AI? Wouldn't it be?
Well, I think when you get into living forever and playing God and doing all this stuff, you get into a very dark area of human beings having the capacity of God. All these tech people who've now become super Christian, which seems to be a front because they know how to sell what they're trying to do to America that way.
Like, how many of them are becoming super?
A lot of them.
Teal?
Yeah,
Teal super
of
Christian?
course. Everyone.
Well, how does he reconcile that with the gay stuff?
I don't know how anyone reconciles anything with anything, but like I think. I don't know, but they've realized they have to sell the AI stuff and the eventual augmenting of the biology, all of that to Americans. And there'll probably be a lot of the objections to that will probably be religious or rooted in religion. People going, I don't want to be but if you can somehow launder it and go, no, God likes and wants you to have the autonomous drone. You have to position yourself.
Interesting.
I don't know. I'm sure he can reconcile the gay stuff with the way. There's tons of gay Christians. I'm sure he's a very smart guy. He'll be able to figure it out.
That's an interesting strategy.
Well, that's the strategy.
That does make sense, though, as a strategy. That's how you would approach things.
You would have to.
Yeah.
You would have to. You'd have to go out and say, the good news is God wants you to have all of these things, which isn't Christianity. It's some other. They've concocted something else. Mm-hmm. If you're augmenting your biology to live forever, or to live a lot longer, and you are seeding clouds and doing all of this stuff, then you are playing God.
Yeah,
you are doing it.
I'm.
And there's an argument that science is you should do some of these things, whatever. You can make that argument. But that's not inherently a Christian argument.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think the real argument is that it's not just that you can do these things, but it's an imperative. And the reason being is that we're in competition with China.
What did you say? You said you were blown away by something.
Oh, this Praxian shit.
Well, this is yeah.
I had no idea that this was even a thing.
Well,
we've never discussed this before. Have we ever? I don't think so.
But this was a big thing during the pandemic. I don't know the reality of any of it. Here's what I think. Here's what it is emblematic of. The rich opted out of America a while ago, the super rich, meaning like they let many American cities crumble. They allowed the infrastructure of the country to rot. They carved out places within the country that they were going to, secure. And those places are safe. And those places are beautiful. And those places have pretty good economies. And they let the rest of it, the Rust Belt and the Sun Belt, a lot of the areas that were deindustrialized, they let a lot of that go. What's the next culmination of that? The next culmination of that, they're already kind of in a separate country. So this is just the leveling up of that with tech, crypto. You're off the dollar system. You're in your own thing. Or you're doing a digital currency system. That seems to be the next phase.
Interesting. Well, I think the next phase is allow the same thing that happened to Detroit to happen to the entire country.
That seems to be correct, yes.
Yeah, because that seems like there's an inevitability of automation and of the jobs that AI is going to take away, except for venture capitalism.
Yeah.
Mark Andreessen's fine, but everybody, we're fucked. They're gonna have
not us
AI comedians.
We'll have to interview Mark Andreessen every day, which I've tried. He doesn't come on, but
he didn't come on your show.
He wouldn't know.
Really,
but he's a nice guy. Listen. Here's
interesting.
The thing.
He's been on my show a few times.
Yeah,
maybe next time
you have a bigger show actually, statistically.
Oh, interesting. You have a big show though.
It's a very big show, and we would treat. Thank you very much. And thank Mark Maron for building it with me and being so generous with his fan base with me. But it seems like they're going to, say America was fun. We had a good run.
Yeah.
But it seems inevitable that the standard of living is going to fall. Now, a lot of people and Elon is a smart guy, and I don't agree with him on everything, but he says things like, it's going to be good, and the standard of living are going to rise with AI. I hope that's the case, but there's going to be a lot of people out of work, and I don't quite know how people's standard of living is going to increase. I guess we're going to have some UBI that's enough or whatever, but it just feels to me like we're heading towards something that has the potential. Maybe it won't be. I'm not going to be a doomsdayer. It has the potential to be incredibly disruptive. It will be incredibly disruptive. Now, for the good or the bad, I don't know, but it does seem like people are preparing for the inevitability of a large war. France just said get hospitals ready for war by 2026.
France just said that?
France just said that.
What?
He came out. Macron just came out and said get the hospitals ready for 2026, because that's when Brigitte's transitioning back to a man. But also have...
France orders hospital to be ready for war in 6 months' time.
What is this goon still doing, this Zelensky goon? What a goon this person is.
The director revealed in a letter to regional health agencies anticipates 10,000 to 50,000 men in hospital over a period. Maybe this is why they let everybody into the country.
Right.
Health Minister Catherine Vautrin, is that it? Vautrin?
Yeah.
Confirmed the preparations, saying that they're a normal part of anticipating crises in the current international context. Again, what the fuck are you saying? The letter dated 18 July suggests that France could serve as a rear base for a large-scale conflict and mentions setting up medical centers near transport hubs. Okay. follows the distribution of a survival manual to French households and President Emmanuel Macron's plan to double France's defense spending by 2027. How did that guy get to be the head of France? He at this point, can he win an election?
No, probably not.
Now everybody knows that he's married to a man who, not only a man, but a man who smacks him in the face.
Allegedly.
I saw the video.
Well, the alleged man.
Alleged man.
Yeah.
Well, whatever, that woman smacked him in the face.
For
Like he's
sure.
getting abused.
She manhandled him.
Yeah, manhandled him. Behind closed doors.
That's right.
She man spreads. You ever see her man spread? when
She
sits?
mansplains.
I don't know any women that sit down like that.
There's something off there. She met. He
Real.
was 40. She was 15 or something. He was a kid in
Real
school.
Off.
There's something
Real.
really off.
That alone.
There's something very
Real
strange, very sinister,
Well,
very
they met
bad.
when he was 14,
And she was 38 or something.
something like that. And
Very
then they
bad.
started
40.
when she was 40. Notice I say she.
Yeah.
I'm a good boy.
Right.
I'm following the rules.
That's right. Well, there's lawsuits, which I mentioned in.
Well, it was interesting watching Jake Tapper do that about the fucking shooter, the Catholic school shooter, like correcting
Don't
the
miss
pronouns.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
You know.
It's bizarro land we're in right now. But anyway, what is going on in France? Like that guy is your fucking leader. Like that's so weird. And when I see things like that, it's terrifying because is that possible they could pull that off in America? When you go, well, they almost did with Kamala Harris.
Well, I think they have. By the way, they have before with lots of people.
Yeah.
And we don't know the personal lives of any of these people.
You know what's really fun?
Yeah.
When someone is in that whole race and running for president or vice president, and then the race is over and they realize that person was a liability, so they cut them off.
And you never hear
then that
from them.
person
Yeah.
goes wacky, like Tim Walz.
That's
Did
right.
you see where he had a "fuck Trump" shirt on?
Yeah.
And he's dancing and going down an elevator. Have you seen this video?
I haven't seen. Please play it. I haven't seen it.
Please, Jamie, find
Well,
that
Tim
video.
Walz is.
But this is weird.
That was a big mistake.
Oh, a huge mistake.
They should have picked Josh Shapiro from the governor of Pennsylvania.
I think they're worried about the Jewish thing.
Well, of course, it's a big swing state, and it would have been better.
Okay, you go full screen on
Is
this.
that really this
Yes?
him?
No, it's not real.
It's real.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
AI generated.
No, it's real.
No, look, I can tell it's not real.
I would love it. It's real.
It's not real.
It's got to be real.
It has to
Really
be
not
real.
real.
It has to be real.
Jamie,
come on, man.
Jamie's compromised.
Look at him dancing.
I mean, the
That is so real, Jamie.
By the way, if this was real, he might have won.
It's probably a real person. It might not be Tim Walz. The "fuck Trump" is AI generated.
no,
on
he
a white
slaps
shirt.
his ass.
I mean, that is hilarious.
Oh, it's definitely him. This is all 100% real, Jamie. You're a plant by the
Jamie's
government.
compromised, and I'm worried about Jamie, and I'm worried about Grok.
Does it say that it's AI?
I mean, yes.
You say it's AI.
No, the video.
Everybody says
the
it?
video I played on top says it's AI generated.
Rep
Oh,
Riley
so
Moore
what?
fell for an AI-generated video of Minnesota governor. I fell for it too, and you know why I fell for it?
Yeah.
because I believe that he's capable of doing something.
that's
that
his
dumb.
essence.
He's so weird.
He's a weird guy. He's in the CCP. He's controlled by communist China, most
Well,
likely.
he went over there a ton of times.
Well, he thinks it's a good place. That's
Does
the
he?
thing. I don't think he's controlled, meaning like whatever they're like nodes on his head, but like I'm saying, like he thinks that's a better way of life.
Well,
He thinks government control over your life is a better way of life.
and if you wanted to find a guy that maybe you could have some shit on,
right.
to put into office, that guy.
Well, he's a creep.
he's a weird.
He's a creepy guy, and nobody knows exactly what his qualifications were to be the vice president of the United States. That was all left out. No one has any clue.
We did a really good job of defunding the police.
Well, you know, his psychopath wife sat there and was like, when we smelled the burning tires from the riots, it was a
Yeah.
real moment. We just took it in.
Yeah.
The people that live in that region of the country, many of them are sick. They don't get enough sunlight. It's very
Right.
cold.
Right.
They're incredibly radical.
Right.
They live around all white people, and
Right.
yet they're the most concerned with racism. Mm-hmm. And, you know, they almost elected a Somali mayor there. Or governor or something, but they just pulled his support away.
Yeah, what happened with that? Why'd they pull his support away?
They said that there was something wrong with the convention, that they were like people's votes weren't counted. But it seems like the Democrats realized, oh, we're going to import all these people that we think they're going to vote for us. They're actually going to vote for themselves and get rid of us. So it's like, oh, we'll import all these people. They'll vote for us. And then they're like, wait a minute, fuck you. We'll just run one of our people. Why the hell? Why do we need to elect you? We can just elect this guy. And it's like the guy from Captain Phillips.
Yeah.
It's the guy.
Yeah.
It's
I'm the
pirate
captain
guy.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's lovely. And I'm not saying he shouldn't run in America. I'm not saying a pirate shouldn't be the mayor of a great American city.
That fucking state is not recovered from Prince dying.
No.
They fell off.
Yeah. And I think...
Which, by the way, died of fentanyl.
That's right. The small boat crisis... Really?
Yeah.
Fent?
Yeah. Hip issues. So in pain, got a hold of the wrong pills.
The patch.
So here's the thing. No, it's not that. The patch won't kill you because the patch actually goes through the dermis. It actually regulates the dose. Prince Rogers Nelson, official cause of death was an accidental overdose of fentanyl. So what happens is, and what happened with Tom Petty too, is these guys, their taste, their appetite far exceeds the prescription. And they're in pain all the time, and so they get pills from other people. So with Tom Petty, I think he got it from a roadie. He wound up dying. I don't know where Prince got his from, but what happens is, you're getting a prescription from your doctor, and maybe he only gives you, 3 pills a day, and you really want 10.
And then you start.
Wasn't it like, what the fuck's his name? Rush Limbaugh. Wasn't he taking like
16 a day Oxycontin?
I think it was higher than that.
It might have been.
I think it was something nuts.
It was nuts.
Yeah,
and he was doing broadcasting every day.
That's what made him go deaf, apparently. Right. Alex Jones explained it to me.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. Okay, Prince had thought he was taking the prescription drug Vicodin when he in fact was taking a counterfeit Vicodin pill laced with potentially deadly fentanyl. Yeah, so same thing. So you think you're getting these pills that you're addicted to.
Yeah.
Prince apparently had hip problems.
Sure.
From all the dancing.
Of
and,
course.
I know a lot of martial artists have fake hips now. So you get in pain, and the pain is debilitating. You can't tolerate it. And so, hey, take a pill. And then next thing you know, you're fucked.
Right.
And then you're on that train, and you need something. And you got a Vicodin for me? You got a Vicodin. Then you're foaming at the mouth and dead in the hotel floor.
That really sucks, and that is terrible.
It's fucking horrible. It's fucking horrible. And by the way, all that shit would have been avoided if there was legal drugs.
Well, yes. But I also think a lot of these antidepressants and stuff, a lot of those things, and there's people that obviously need them and are helped by them, and that's great. But the pharmaceutical industry is so powerful and so well funded. And, it's clear that, one of the ways they're going to try to control the population once people don't have jobs or a purpose is by getting them all on a bevy of medications.
Get them dosed up to the point where they just get real dull.
I think they're going to dose
real
people up.
Flat.
They dose them up.
Nothing upsets you, and then you can just take your government stipend, and you're going to be fine. And you'll have less money, but you'll have all the objects that you need.
You'll have all the things you want.
Because the government will send you free TVs, because the TVs are going to be made by robots. They'll cost no money.
You can't react if you're sitting on a beach and then a small migrant boat shows up and then they all just start running. You just look at it and kind of nod and go, huh.
Well,
okay.
Then someone will turn. Who else going to clean your toilet?
That's right.
You need that.
Right. Who's going to clean your toilet?
Who's going to clean your toilet?
Who's going to drink your piss, Mr. Trump? It's gonna be really interesting to see if Farage wins in the UK, if the Reform Party wins.
When is that?
It's coming up. I don't know exactly when.
Someone has to reverse course, and it might be too late. Because the amount of change that they've had over the past few years is staggering. The Graham Linehan arrest, I think, woke a lot of people up today. The fact that you could see the tweets that they arrested him for, the fact that they're arresting people for saying, I love bacon, all that shit is
the only way you can make
insane.
These changes to a society as swiftly as they are is by stifling dissent and punishing it and criminalizing it.
Yes.
There's absolutely no way to completely remake a society in the span of 36 months, you know? You can't do that without shutting everybody up.
You shut everybody up and you import
Nobody is voting to be a
migrants.
minority in their own country. Nobody is voting to lose economic and cultural ground in their own country. People certainly think immigrants can benefit a country and make a country better, and that's why historically we've had immigration. But nobody is voting for massive, large-scale immigration that completely destabilizes an existing economy.
And the majority of it is Muslim.
It's Muslim immigration.
Which is weird. Like,
Well,
think about all the Latin American countries,
That's right.
all the different countries. Like, why is this the one?
Well, because it's the one you can't criticize. It's the one you cannot say you don't want. It's the one that is not going to be able. There are real conditions in the world that create refugees. Climate is one of them. Destabilizing wars are another one. So if you're all over the world destabilizing countries with, war and covert operations and all of this stuff, and enriching a small circle of people, and all those refugees need a place to stay, you got to take them in, and you got to tell your people to shut the fuck up. And that's what's been going on. Progressives, when I grew up, used to care deeply about their fellow citizens having health care, a place to live, be able to send their kids to college, retire, whatever. All of the energy now, for example, in the New York mayoral race, is about whether Jewish people feel safe with the Muslim mayor and whether the Muslim mayor feels that illegal immigrants are being treated nicely enough.
Yeah.
They don't care at all about citizens of this country. They don't care about black people who are genuinely owed a debt from the things that Americans have done, bringing them to the country as slaves, preventing them from acquiring wealth, Jim Crow, redlining, all that. That is no longer an issue. They don't talk about elderly people. They don't talk about Social Security. They don't talk about that. All of the energy that was and it's happened right around Occupy Wall Street. Right around Occupy Wall Street, and people started to realize that it was a little bit of a scam, the way the country was being run. You had people start to design a Democratic Party around identity politics. And then the Republican Party was always kind of designed around this idea that, you had maximum freedom to start your own hedge fund. Shut up. Stop complaining. Whatever. And populism was kind of killed in America. Unions were killed. Workers' rights were killed. And now all this progressive energy that used to get funneled into people having health care is now specifically for non-citizens.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
It's extraordinary amounts of money.
Extraordinary amounts of money. And it's not about America or the future of New York City, the most economically, it's the top city in the world economically, and the focus is in not about Americans, it's about undocumented people, and if Jews and Muslims are going to play nice.
Weird.
It's odd.
Real weird.
It's strange to me. I'm not saying those are completely unimportant issues, but they completely dominate the conversation to a level that's absurd.
Here's another absurd thing. He's also running on this promise of setting up a transgender hub where you can go and get fixed up there.
Yeah.
Where they're going to pay for people.
In the park? No, I'm kidding.
There's a tent. There's a tent. You go in there. It's like
Square Park.
Fucking one of those Dexter
He's going to do
tents.
it in the Friends fountain that they all jumped in at the beginning of Friends. Yeah, he's going to do it. No, I mean, we don't need a transgender hub. Not to hurt anybody's feelings. People should be able. I think adults should be able to do whatever they want.
The Friends theme is playing in my head right now.
It is, yeah. In the fountain.
Yeah.
We don't need a transgender hub. We don't need a sanctuary city. I don't think and me and you've said this, you don't need ICE raids ripping families apart at graduation either.
No.
But you need an enforcement of law. You need to build a middle class. You need to make things affordable. They run California on $8 trillion worth of tech money in Northern California. They run New York on a lot of fucking finance money. And these people bring in a class of people that cannot understand them. So culturally, it's nice when the maid can't understand you. It's nice. It's nice when she really doesn't know what you're saying. And I'm not saying that you obviously get rid of every immigrant, but this whole idea that the American working class, if they are not participating in their own destruction, they are somehow a racist or they're xenophobic.
Yeah.
is psychotic.
It is psychotic.
It's psychotic.
It's weird. It's just
Yeah.
weird that people accept it. And it's also weird that it's attached to being a kind, compassionate person
That's
who's
right.
on the left.
Yeah.
And and also just complete lack of anybody who gets arrested has no cash bail,
Yeah.
right? So there's no punishment for committing crimes. It's very strange. Like, it is all set. Like, if you wanted to be the person, if you want to be the person that's going to like try to completely destabilize a country, you would do it exactly that way. I'm not saying that that's why they're doing it, but it just feels very strange that they've gotten everybody to kind of go along with all this.
Well, it seems to be preparing to run a country without people. It seems very much, if I'm a nut, a conspiracy nut, which I am, and I'm wondering how you begin to sever ties with people. First, you're going to replace the people in your own country with people from another country that you could pay a lot less money to, who you have no cultural ties with, who you don't even speak the same language. And then eventually you're going to discard those people for robots
Interesting.
and machines.
Well, I think you want to set up more internal conflict. Like, if people
Yes.
figure out that this white versus black struggle in America is kind of bullshit, right? And then the racism that people think exists is kind of accentuated by social media, and then they figure out that that racism that exists is accentuated by bots, so that they're pitting us against each other when most people are cool. The
Yeah.
vast majority. And then also there's the gay straight thing. And there's
Yeah.
this weird push recently to try to repeal gay marriage.
Yeah.
It's like, who's pushing that? Well, that seems like one of those fake things that they do to keep each other at each other's throats. Well, what's the ultimate one? The ultimate one is Sharia law. Right?
Right.
The ultimate one is bring in as many Muslims as you can. Let them gather up steam. Let them
Yes.
build up an alliance.
Yeah.
Let a bunch of like really fucking stupid, wacky leftists go along with this.
And then you
not
pray.
knowing that
Yeah.
religion is counter to everything you stand
believe
for.
in, yeah.
Everything you stand for as far as women's rights, gay rights, like
So
all
I think,
across
by the
religious
way,
freedom.
I think you're right. I think you're 100% right. And I think the funny thing about a lot of the big, super wealthy people is they don't care if there's large swaths of Michigan under Sharia law. They wouldn't care.
No.
They're really interested in 12 zip codes that they're going to gate off.
Yeah.
It's obvious. Like, they're interested. They're all over the world. They have homes everywhere.
yeah.
And I don't think they care. I mean, if they cared long term about America, wouldn't our cities look better?
Yeah.
Wouldn't our cities look better? Wouldn't we have taken more care to have thriving cities? It wouldn't take that much more money.
No.
What? So to me, I start thinking about, like, it feels like they've given up.
I don't even know if they've given up. I think it's
Yeah.
a strategy.
Yeah.
I think there's a strategy. You need a bunch of discontent. You need a bunch of people that are upset. You need
Right.
a bunch of people that are constantly worried about their bills, because when you're worried about your bills, you're not worried about anything else.
Right.
You need a bunch of people that are sick, so you
Yeah.
need to deny them health care.
That's
you
right.
need to make sure that they're not getting paid.
Right.
The claims are not getting accepted. And then make sure that you've got constant struggle in terms of like what you're allowed to say, what you're not allowed to say.
That's right.
And that's where we come in.
People need to be paranoid and scared
That's
of
where we
each
come
other.
in, because we were an unexpected thing. I think podcasters and social media in general, but they can kind of subvert social media with bots. You can't really do that with podcasters, because you know that they're really talking or they're not.
Yeah.
You can do AI stuff like the Tim Walsh thing.
Yeah,
But other
no,
than-
for sure.
Yeah.
I think they were not prepared for this level of pushback
No.
that the citizens are giving on things like Epstein, on things like, whatever, right?
Right.
And they're unprepared for how to deal with it.
Epstein accusers put pressure on Congress to release the files.
This happened about an hour ago. They're on Capitol Hill giving a 2-hour press conference. A bunch of accusers, I think for the first time publicly, showed their faces, made some
interesting.
statements. And they said that they're
Interesting.
going to compile a list since they know the names themselves.
Interesting. I was on. Oh, whoa.
By the way,
I was
Marjorie
only
Taylor Greene's
4
been heroic on this.
Look at this.
By the way,
Look at this quote. I was only 14 years old when I met Jeffrey. one of 9 female Epstein accusers who appeared at a news conference on Capitol Hill. What? It was the summer of high school. I was working 3 jobs to try to support my mom. Of course, those are the type of people you grab, right? When a friend of mine in the neighborhood told me I could make $300 to give another guy a massage. Wow. It went from a dream job to the worst nightmare.
People need to go to jail.
Fuck.
I mean, this is the reality. People need to go to jail.
Holy fuck. Okay, hold on. Another Epstein accuser, Annie Farmer, alleged she was 16 in 1996 when she was flown to New Mexico to spend a weekend with Epstein. 16.
Yeah.
And Maxwell, and was assaulted. Her sister, Maria, was also assaulted there, Farmer said, and sensitive photos of the sisters were stolen by Epstein. The incident was reported to authorities. Wow. What a fucking psycho that guy was. 14.
Well, I think it's going to come out. I think it's going to come out that he was a not only obviously well known that he was a notorious pedophile, evil guy, but also that he was working for Israel. I mean, I think this is going to come out.
And so
this is what I've been. What I think, but I also believe is somewhat well known and not a huge secret.
Isn't it? It's the whole thing is very strange that you have a pedophile who's also connected to all these insanely wealthy and powerful people, and then does something where he gets all these people together for parties, and then supposedly has all of this information and all this, and then you have Pam Bondi saying there's thousands of hours of film. But then you have Kash Patel saying, no, there's nothing. There's nothing, and he killed himself.
We are absolutely 100% going to find some very uncomfortable things out about his relationship with Israel. I mean, this is not going to be a piece of paper that says, hey, I'm working, but there's going to be enough circumstantial evidence that's going to connect him not only to our own government, which I imagine that the CIA was involved as well, but I think it's going to connect him to, I mean, this was such a goof.
These are their files that they're holding up for everybody. The guy with the cowboy hat's got to go. Who's that guy?
I don't know, but I think this
hat
is
is ridiculous, sir.
These are old files too, and they did this.
That fucking cowboy hat's ridiculous. Just holding up the thing with it, wearing a cowboy hat. We're here for American justice. The Epstein Files Phase 1.
There's more. Listen, there's a reason that none of this has come to light, and there's a reason that they're dragging their feet on releasing this.
Yeah, because the amount of people that are powerful.
There's so many people ensnared by this, but also the other thing is, like, I think it is going to be an uncomfortable, and more than uncomfortable, perhaps, with if it comes out that our ally, very close ally of America, was having this happen. Not obviously, it's not the Israeli people, it's not even the Israeli government per se, but it's a group in whatever you want to call it, the Israeli deep state or their intelligence community, that was using Jeffrey Epstein as an access agent to get access to people and leverage on people.
Do you think that he was a pedophile to begin with? And they go, this is our guy because he's fucked up?
Absolutely.
And then they have him run things. But how do you get a pedophile that can keep his shit together?
You find one that's good.
Well, he couldn't, obviously.
He couldn't keep his shit together, but, the 90s were a different time. There's no camera phones.
That's true.
There's no internet.
That's true.
You can intimidate reporters. Right. You can intimidate DAs.
Right. Or you can just whack people.
This is a Vice article from 2017 about the D.C. madam I found earlier, and I thought this was interesting. They tried to bring the info out later after she had died already. Yeah, and her attorney said the records could impact the presidential election.
What?
What?
The Supreme Court denied the applications.
Wait a minute.
They tried to FOIA the FBI, IRS, and the Postal Inspection Service since they were involved too, because it was a mail thing. She was in Northern California. And they barely sent any info.
And so this was in 2000 what?
17.
Wow.
I think that's when the article was.
There's no presidential election.
Supposedly Jeffrey Epstein said to his brother or to someone, if people knew what I knew, both candidates in the presidential election would have to step down. That's a quote. Jamie can find that.
Wow.
Also, wasn't he on the phone with his mother, in quotes, before he died?
Who?
Epstein, in prison.
What?
They said he was on the phone with his mother for like an hour.
How's he
and a
get on the
half.
phone while he's inside the jail?
His mother's dead, too.
Was the thing real about the trust of
Wait a
all
minute,
the money?
wait a minute. What are you saying? His mother was already dead
Yeah.
before that?
Yeah.
So who's saying that he was
I'll show you.
on the phone with his mother?
So maybe he was on the phone with someone else.
Yeah, but there's a lot of misinformation that gets attached to true stories to make the stories goofy.
Well,
this is the whole Comet Pizza thing.
Disinfo.
Yeah, this is the pizza.
Something's
thing.
weird with that, though.
Oh fuck yeah, something's weird with that.
Why is
I'll send
why
you
is
a
a
documentary?
pizzeria? I saw that.
Yeah. What?
The documentary,
fuck?
right?
Yeah. Just the absolute
This
facts.
is just a summary from AI, but
Unmonitored phone call to a girlfriend, though he told prison staff that he was calling his mother, who had been dead for 15 years. Key details from the report include the call was a violation of policy on the evening, excused himself from a meeting with his lawyers to make a call. You could just leave, you can just make a call in prison?
these are all questions.
I thought
people
you have to
ask me,
wait
too.
in line for the phone. The Office of the Inspector General found that a supervisor at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York allowed Epstein to make an unmonitored call, which was a violation of the Bureau of Prisons policy. Deception was successful. To get permission for the unmonitored call, Epstein told prison staff that he wanted to call his mother, who had died in 2004. Instead, he called a girlfriend. The call was not properly logged or recorded. How convenient.
Nice.
The call's content is unknown. Call was unmonitored and unrecorded. Investigators could not determine its content. Oh, why would you determine the content of a guy who's involved in the most
why would you?
high-profile investigation?
They had to get rid of him. There was no way to keep him around. And if he is still alive somehow, I don't know where he is, obviously, but there's a possibility he's at Wexner's compound.
And then there's a fucking guy that he was sharing a cell with.
That
Who's
guy, creepy guy,
Gigantic, muscular guy who killed a
could
bunch
have
of people.
killed him. He could have killed him.
Who's
They
already
might have
killed a
killed
few
him.
people.
They might have killed him. But there are tapes, I think, that are missing a minute. They're missing time.
Oh, they found the new minute today. Did you see that?
Ooh, no, I didn't.
The missing minute, they conveniently found it today. Did you hear about that, Jamie? You didn't hear? I'll send it to you.
The missing minute.
Yeah, they found it. They know where it is now. So
Oh, well,
no
now it's-
worries.
well, now
I
it's
just,
good.
Yeah, I had heard that they knew where it was the whole time. They didn't want to. Here, I got it up, Andre.
You got it? They knew where it was the whole time. They just didn't want to tell you. Release of missing minute of Epstein video contradicts Bondi's camera stop recording. Oh, no. Contradicts Bondi's claim. Video taken outside Epstein's cell on night he died as part of new materials released by the House Oversight Committee. Why do you have that new minute set aside? What's that?
It's a new minute. It's Kill Tony. You got to do a new minute. It's Epstein's new minute.
Kill Jeffrey.
Saying he was still alive. This story came out this week too. Did you see this?
Old master painted, looted by Nazis, spotted in Argentinian property listing.
They found a painting that was stolen, and no one had seen it for 200 years or so.
Oh, and they
thought
found
the
it in...
Nazis took it. It was found on a Zillow post.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
I think it was Zillow. I'll double check. But
That's
yeah,
crazy.
it's the website of a real estate agent.
Well, that's Argentina. That's the whole thing.
It's the whole thing.
The Argentina, literally, there's towns in Argentina that have Oktoberfest where everybody speaks German. They're
All the
always
Nazis went to
lederhosen.
Argentina.
Yeah, there's photos
Right.
of, like, this is Grandpa, and
Right.
there's SS fucking uniforms on their
Yes.
wall. Yeah, Tim Kennedy did that show, Finding Hitler,
Right.
where they went down there and
Do you think he survived?
yes.
Hitler?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
Yeah, I
And
think
went to Argentina.
I think it's very possible that that's the case. I don't
Interesting.
know if it's true, but I've never seen any photos of his dead,
Of course.
dead body.
Interesting.
But there is a conspiracy that he went to Argentina, right?
A big one, yeah.
And didn't someone just confirm that recently? It was in some file.
Someone said he lived
something.
and had a bunch of children and was actually a lovely man. That's what they're saying. I've never met him.
Well, this is the latest whitewashing of what Hitler is. But
Yes.
this is the problem with history: is that there's so much lies that even when
Things, right. Everyone goes
even
crazy.
about a monster, you go, "Well, maybe it wasn't so bad."
Well, of course. And I think that, like, this is part of the reason that it's so difficult because we're lied to so much now and we're so propagandized now that people look back and go, what else is propaganda? But that can lead you to some dark and bad places.
Yes. And
By
also
going like Hitler's good or,
and that can
you know,
be weaponized.
Of course.
Yeah, that's also the part of the problem with
You
all.
got to constantly be vigilant about your own consuming of information.
You got to run everything through a filter.
Absolutely.
What do you got about?
I found an update on that painting. It was a for sale notice revealed that it was Frederick Heidegen, which is a financial advisor to Adolf Hitler. He was placed in charge of moving Nazi plunder to South America, and then shortly after the article was published, the painting disappeared.
Just such a funny idea of Hitler having a financial advisor. But of course he would.
Where do I invest the Jew gold?
Of course
They
he
arrested
would.
the son-in-law.
Arrest
and
daughter, son-in-law of Hitler's financial advisor over looted painting. How would they know?
But they failed to. I think it might have been their house.
Failed, but how would they know where the painting came from? Portrait of a lady, which has been missing since the for sale notice revealed it was a Nazi fugitive, Frederick Heideggen's home. Wow, Argentina. So what is the theory about Hitler going to Argentina? Because someone said that, and it was supposedly at least semi-credible that there might be some truth to the idea that Hitler went to Argentina and escaped, and the idea of him dying in the bunker was just bullshit.
No, it's very possible. And he lived there supposedly and had children and grandchildren. That's what I read recently.
Yeah, I read it recently too, but I don't know if that's true either. But
might be
here's the thing:
fake.
but what is true is Nazis went to Argentina 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
That's true, and Brazil as well.
But then also, didn't they hunt them? Didn't like the Israelis hunt them and find a lot of them?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
They caught a bunch of them.
They got a bunch of them.
Yeah, because a lot of these idiots, they're in their daughter's Facebook posts,
Right.
in the
And they
background. They're
found
running
them.
through facial recognition
Yeah,
software,
of
and they're like,
course.
"Oh, look at that! That's Adolf.
That's Gerhard. Let's get him.
Look at him. Go
Yep.
get him." Yeah, they found these guys. They prosecuted when they're in their 90s and shit.
Yeah.
It's wild. I was a CIA agent. There's growing proof Hitler faked his death, and I think I know where he was hiding.
Where was it? Was it Austin?
See, but if you say he's a CIA agent, I'm like, okay. Are you bullshit? Did you sell drugs in L.A.?
Right.
Like, what? You know what I mean?
Right.
Who
What
are
are
you?
you really? Right.
Who are you?
Do you really know?
Yeah.
Do you really know?
Are you a CIA agent currently?
If Hitler was alive today, he'd be too old. So he has to be dead.
Oh, he's dead. Yeah, he's
Dead.
definitely dead. But the thing is, like, did he really go to Argentina, and how did no one take a picture of him there?
I guess, there's
Maybe
probably...
he just shaves the mustache and he's like Clark Kent.
You always bring
takes
up
off
this
the
great point
glasses.
about the Pacific Northwest. You could kind of go up there and really disappear.
Oh, yeah.
In the thicket of the forest, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's supposedly
But
there's
you
places...
need food.
Yeah.
You need food and resources if you don't know how to hunt. And even if you do know how to hunt, you need to refrigerate things, so you need a power source. It's not easy.
That's the densest woods in America is Pacific Northwest?
Oh, it's crazy up there.
Yeah.
When Duncan and I went looking for Bigfoot,
Yeah.
because we did a show. Well, we went up there.
Looking for Hitler.
It's basically unfuckable white guys out camping. That was the
Right.
joke. Here's
Yeah.
what you don't find when you go looking for Bigfoot.
Right.
Black people.
Right.
You're more likely to find Bigfoot than you are black people looking
That's
for
so
Bigfoot.
funny.
It's unfuckable white guys out
Unfuckable
camping.
white guys, yeah.
And, they're having fun, and they're looking at, like, shadows.
Yeah.
I think that's him. Look at the outline
Right.
of the body. The
Right.
They're all dorks.
Yeah. Of course.
But the thing is, bears occasionally walk on two legs, and if you see one in the Pacific Northwest, what you're looking at is like the trees are like this. It's like the way I describe it always is like a box of Q-tips.
Yeah.
They're so densely stacked in there.
Right.
You can't see 15 yards. You can't see any. It's crazy how
Right.
dense it is out there. But if you're going to build a house out there and survive out there, you're going to have a path. You're going to have to be able to chop down wood and build a house, or you have to bring in other materials.
Yeah.
How are you going to get water pipes? So then you don't have running water. If you don't have pipes, okay, what are you shitting in an outhouse? Like,
Right. How are the winters out there tough?
Yeah.
They're not as tough as
Not
the East Coast.
bad.
Right.
No. I mean, it might snow a little, but like Mount Rainier up there, it's not that bad. You could live. It's just wet. It just
I went up
gets
to Mount
real
Shasta
wet.
once. That's supposedly the one that's real creepy.
Yeah?
People disappear. It's supposedly like one of those ancient portals of whatever. Here it is.
So there's
Here's Hitler.
documents that the government in Argentina.
Well, you know how it's legit? Because they put a black line through secret.
That's
Well,
right.
this is a CIA document. And
Hitler hideout in Argentina. So this is, what does it say at the top there? It says approved for release 2020 July 14th.
So they were saying that the CIA was searching for Hitler in Argentina up to 10 years after he was known to have been dead.
Wow.
But even this says like they have a source and they don't know if it's true or even reliable. But they have to look into it, I suppose.
Interesting. Well, if you send fucking CIA down to Argentina, the odds of them not getting busted, like people are gonna know immediately. These dorks come up, we're fucking wearing Izod shirts.
Yeah, and so what's the thing? They just couldn't find him?
Yeah.
Or,
What's this?
these are some of the files that came out.
With a man who claimed to be Hitler on a beach in Colombia.
Kind of looked like Hitler.
Yeah, he's got his legs crossed like Gavin Newsom.
Why would he claim to be Hitler? Like, why would he say I'm Hitler?
I don't know. Go back to that photo again.
People just want attention.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that want attention.
People just want attention.
That is the worst photo I've ever seen in my life. I could draw a better photo than that if you gave me 20 minutes.
Right.
I mean,
I could
it's
have AI update it, see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Do that.
Do that.
Okay.
Fuck yeah. What a wonderful time we live in.
Let's see if it really is Hitler.
Tell AI to update this photo and then tell it to give him the Sharon Osbourne.
How big is Argentina?
It's pretty big.
Okay, so you could get lost.
It's very wooded.
Yeah.
And a lot of cattle ranches.
Small towns and stuff.
Yeah, it's they're famous for their beef.
Right. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Apparently,
they're really good at cooking
So
steak.
you could conceivably, if you're Hitler, you could live there and not be.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
The thing is that you're an old man, and old men need medical resources. You need running water. The odds of you existing in the forest, like people have this romantic idea of being like a subsistence hunter.
Yeah.
Where are you going to get all your bullets?
Right.
It ain't that simple, man. Are you going to make your own arrows? Shut the fuck up. You're not going to kill anything with those things. Shut your fucking dirty mouth. Like,
Right.
where are you getting your broadheads? It's
not going to happen.
It's too hard to hunt.
It's too hard.
Hunting is hard.
No, you need the amenities.
Yeah, you need food.
Of course.
You need someone to bring in grain.
Of
right?
course.
You need rice and you need beans and you need stuff for subsistence. You need to survive. Like the idea that you're just going to live in the woods is nonsense. People
crazy.
are fucking crazy.
It's crazy.
How many bullets do you bring in, man?
Not enough.
You better have boxes and boxes of boxes and boxes of bullets.
This other CIA document says that he moved from Colombia to Argentina in January 1995.
1955.
55, but because 10 years had passed since the end of the war, the Allies could no longer prosecute Hitler as a criminal of war. Is that true? What?
Oh, wait a minute. What?
That's crazy.
What?
Is this the CIA documents?
These different document, but yeah, this is
but
like
they
from the
look so
source.
fake. They look more fake than that photo. Did you run that photo through AI?
It's still doing it.
Let's see what it says. Update it. Creating an image. This might take a moment. Okay. It's like the old days. You weren't around back then, but
Yeah.
in like AOL, when you
Yeah.
you get a picture of a naked lady.
Yeah,
it
it would take
be
a
like
minute.
It'd be real funny if it's really bad.
No, we're gonna crack the case.
Yeah, this one
Jamie?
said someone had talking to him. He was once a month speaking to him in Colombia.
On his trip.
That's where that picture came from.
Wow. What? Okay. So Philip Citroen, former German SS soldier, SS trooper, stated to him confidentially that Adolf Hitler is still alive. Citroen claimed to have contacted Hitler about once a month in Colombia on his trip from, how do you say that, Maracaibo?
Yeah.
Maracaibo to that country as an employee of Royal Dutch Shipping Company in Maracaibo. Citroen indicated to, what's that word?
It's spelled. I think that's their contact, and that's what
Okay.
how they have them classified.
A friend that he took a picture with Hitler not too long ago, but did not show the photograph. He also stated that Hitler left Colombia for Argentina around January of 1955. Imagine he survived 10 fucking years. That would be so crazy.
It's very possible.
Whoa.
Wow. I mean, that's kind of Hitler, no?
Whoa.
People used to really dress back then.
Whoa.
You know? People really did dress.
Okay, if that's
It's a formality.
If
People
that's
really-
a real photo, that's crazy.
That's-
Has anybody else run that through AI? And what is AI doing to achieve that image?
It could have. I mean,
It just got really good.
Yeah, for plausible deniability, I would go. It could think it's Hitler and just found a picture
And make
of
it
Hitler
Hitler?
and made it Hitler. But the other guy doesn't really look like that.
Well, why is the mustache like less defined in the second photo? Like, it looks like shit. He would be like, "This is not how they do
But
my
he looks
mustache."
very young there, Hitler.
Right.
Hitler looks great there.
Yeah, well, he's getting that Argentinian beef.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of adrenochrome down there too.
I mean, this is one of those situations where it's like,
Let me zoom in on the face again.
yeah.
I don't even know what kind of chair it would be. It's so strange.
I'm not sure if that's really
It's so
We know
hard.
The
AI
face-
just did this, but it doesn't have to be real. But
right. The
we don't
face
know
is
if it's
weird.
real or not.
probably,
Yeah.
I would go to assume it's not.
If it
but,
is
like,
real,
it did a
it's
crazy
Hitler
job.
looks great.
The face looks slightly different than Hitler, though, doesn't it?
I guess so, but I mean, maybe he lost weight.
Maybe
his
just a
skin
guy
looks
like
better.
really committing to that mustache because nobody else would.
There's also a chance Hitler was very relaxed in Argentina and kind of Colombia. It's kind of like the South American way of life, the siestas, kind
Got
of
a
the
little-
nap,
got a
the
little
large
thick.
meal in the middle of the day.
Yeah, go to a photo. Wow, actually, it does look like him, doesn't it?
It looks a lot like Hitler, but
God
like
damn, it looks
kind of a retired Hitler who's relaxed.
Yeah,
and,
10 years later.
You know?
But he doesn't look 10 years older. That's the problem
I
that I
typed
have
in
with it.
1935, so I don't know if that was from 55. That'd be 20 years.
Right.
he doesn't look 20 years older.
So that speech from 35 up in the left corner. Yeah. Isn't it amazing he stuck with that stupid mustache? Like, why did
It
he
was
like
his,
that
but it's his
stupid
call.
mustache?
You know, it's his calling card. It was his thing. You know, some people just they get a thing, and it's
Oh, do you know why they went with that mustache?
No.
Because of the gas masks.
Oh,
So if you want to have a seal over
Right.
your face, so the Nazis were the first to use
Yeah.
gas in warfare.
Okay.
And when you have wear the gas mask, you want a tight seal.
Right.
You can't have a big old fucking
So that makes sense.
handlebar mustache.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So he just kept the stash.
Yeah.
He kept it.
I think that's why he had that mustache. I think that's the case.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know that gas was created by Fritz Haber, who also created the Haber method for extracting nitrogen from the air, which is responsible for 50% of the world's fertilizer?
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. He
Was that called the Cyclone B or no?
Yes. Well,
Yes.
Zyklon A was the gas that was originally used where you could smell it.
Yes.
And the idea of the smell was supposed to let you know that this is dangerous, get the fuck away from it.
Right.
Zyklon B, they took the smell out so that
Wow.
they could
So they could
gas
have
the Jews. So this guy created this gas that they were going to use in World War I, and he was being wanted for crimes against humanity. At the same time, he was going to win a Nobel Prize for creating the Haber method for extracting
Fertilizer.
nitrogen. Yeah. 50% of
Amazing.
supposedly 50% of the nitrogen in everyone's body today comes from the Haber method.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy. The story's crazy.
It's it's like two roads diverged in a wood.
Yeah.
One of them is the fertilizer.
Not only that, he was Jewish. And so he wound up having to flee because they accepted him at first because, hey, this is the guy that gave us the gas. And they're like, no, he's a Jew. And so
Right.
eventually he had to take off. And so he died of heart failure while he was fleeing the country.
So they made him flee because he was
Because he was Jewish.
because he was Jewish.
Yeah.
He wasn't ripping them off on the gas.
It was gouging. It was gas gouging.
You don't think he was like, I'm the only one that can do this? I'm the only one. The margins are reasonable.
Oh, the whole story is crazy.
It is a crazy
His
story.
wife hated what he was doing, and she committed suicide in front of him. And she was still
Dramatic.
still alive, but shot herself. And then he left the wife with his 13-year-old son to go to the front line.
Wow.
Yeah.
To fight with the Allies.
Well, to make sure that his gas gets implemented properly with the giant fans.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
It was the first time they'd ever utilized that.
Interesting.
Yeah, and supposedly that's where Hitler developed the love of that mustache, because in order to have that gas mask to survive the gas, you have to have a tight seal on your face.
It's such a these little snapshots into, just like, again, from a mustache to the gas mask. It's so crazy. Mm-hmm. The little snapshots.
Yeah.
Claim he used a fake name, but his first name is still Adolf. Wouldn't you not do that? Pick a better name.
He used a false identity with Citron specified as Adolf Schrittelmeyer. His account was supported by a photograph taken by the residents. Yeah, but the problem is when you change your first name, everybody forgets. You know, if all of a sudden you became Mark, and I was like,
no one cares.
sorry, Tim.
Right.
It's too complicated. But if you became Tim Wilson, I'm like,
yeah,
just change
fine.
your last name. That's not Tim Dillon. That's Tim Wilson.
And you could
World War II.
You get a new head.
You get a new head.
like the Osborne girl.
Yeah.
And you could just blend right in.
I'd go to Peter Thiel's Satan conference with a whole new head.
There you go.
He doesn't know who it is.
Never know.
He doesn't know who's sitting there for
You should
4
just
parts.
go and wear a burqa.
I should go to the Peter Thiel Satan lecture in a burqa.
Well, you can't get in. It's sold out.
It's sold out and it's private.
Well, imagine buying a ticket to that. Like, what do you want to do? You want to go to the movies? No. You want to go see a concert?
Right.
I don't know. Peter Thiel's giving a lecture on the Antichrist.
It's clearly such a...
Let's get a babysitter.
It's clearly such a, odd attempt at positioning whatever you want to do is like, we're going to... we're trying to fight the Antichrist. This is what I think he's doing.
He has very esoteric interests, and this is just one of them. Like, if you're worth that amount of money and you're just really into weird stuff, like, I don't know why he brought me over the house to meet Eric Von Daniken, but I was not that influential back then. I was not someone that you would have on the radar as being the guy who is going to affect presidential campaigns.
Yeah.
I was a MMA commentator who's a dirty comedian who talks shit on the internet.
Right.
Like, that was it. And I had Eric on my podcast before, and that's how Eric and I became friends. And he knew that I had a deep interest in, and I've read Von Daniken's book, I've watched his documentary, and I know that a lot of that stuff has been debunked. And that's one of the reasons why they wanted to bring me over to ask him questions. And, Von Daniken is a true believer of a lot of that stuff. And I used to think he was totally wrong, and now I don't. Like, if I interviewed him again today, I would have a different perspective. Because I used to think that the idea that we were visited by ancient aliens and that aliens helped them build the pyramids and all this stuff, I used to think that's all silly. What's really going on is there was a collapse of a very sophisticated civilization because of some sort of cataclysmic disaster, and then we're trying to make sense of this without an understanding of what their technology was. Now, I think both might be true.
Well, yeah, and it's also, it seems there's more interest now in the UAP phenomenon than there's ever been.
There's a lot of that, but I also think that's because, look, if you've been in charge of back engineering spaceships, so you've been in charge of lying to Congress and misappropriating funds in order to have the amount of money that you would need to do this stuff. Yeah. And then through all of this, you've achieved substantial gains in whether it's fiber optics or whatever the technology that you've back engineered, where you figured out how to make something that's like completely spectacular. You're in a situation where as transparency becomes more and more of the norm, like one of the things that's going to happen with AI and then most certainly with quantum computing is all decryption, all encryption, all hiding, all that stuff goes away. It becomes a real problem with resources because almost all money is just ones and zeros. So like who's got access to it, who does, it's going to be nuts. Like solving all that's going to be nuts. But also hiding information is going to be virtually impossible. And if there's people that know eventually at one point in time they're going to have to pay the toll.
Right.
Like something.
Yeah.
So we've got to get ahead of this.
Yes.
And the best way to get ahead of this is like this Age of Disclosure documentary. One of the things that all these spooks, all these like former
Yeah.
deep state guys who are now whistleblowers.
Yeah.
I'm doing air quotes with my
Of
fingers
course.
for people just listening. They all talk about amnesty. This is the secret to all this stuff. The secret to the only way you're going to be able to do all this is you got to give amnesty for all the people that committed all these crimes, because the general public needs to know that this stuff exists.
That's right.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's the case, but I do know the historical accounts of us being visited are very consistent, and they've been going on forever. I have no experience. I have nothing. I've never seen anything that crazy, except on on a few things, but not sober. I've never seen anything, right? So it's all anecdotal to me. I've never held a piece of something that, oh my God, it's from another world. But my friend Jesse Michaels just went down to Peru, and they did all these medical scans of these tridactyl mummies, and they're not fake. Whatever the fuck these things are in the fetal position, they have all the ligaments and tendons. Their heads are huge. They look like a fucking alien. They have 3 fingers and 3 toes, and there's a few of them. They're like 3 feet tall, and these things are 1,700 years old, and they look exactly like all these things that people claim to see when they get abducted by aliens. Not only that, they're in Peru, which is the home of many of these monolithic, huge megastructure sites like Machu Picchu and
a lot of the legends come out of there too.
Yeah, well, also the Nazca lines, like immense artwork that you could only see from the sky.
Yeah.
Also, all their artwork, like they have ancient artwork depicting 3-fingered, 3-toed beings with big heads and big eyes.
Yeah.
What the fuck is all this stuff? What is all this
something.
stuff? It's got to be something. And so my approach to that, because Jamie and I just talked about this yesterday. We go back and forth on the alien thing. I think some of it's probably real. And I think it might be where Egypt springs from, where the sub-Saharan Africa, like this whole thing where they think that maybe that was the center of Atlantis. That was
right.
Why were they so much more sophisticated than anybody else? How did they develop these kind of? How old are these goddamn structures? No one really knows. They're just guessing. It's because it's stone.
Why does it feel like right now there seems to be a renewed interest in this stuff? Is it just the technology? Is it the internet? There are more people. There's more documentaries. There's more pop culture
for UAP stuff.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah. Are we ahead of some kind of disclosure, or are we? What are we? What is the? Why is this happening now?
Well, I think the New York Times in 2017 opened the dam.
Right.
That was the big thing when they published on the front page of the New York Times this story about UAPs with credible accounts. You know, I had Gary Nolan on the podcast recently, and one of the things that he said is they have radar of that Tic Tac thing from 2004, where it goes from sea level to 50,000 feet in less than a second. He said, assuming this thing weighed 2 tons, which is like, you know, a regular car, it would take all of the energy that the United States produces in a year to achieve that. To go that fast with a 4,000-pound thing.
Yeah.
To go from 0 to 50,000 feet in less than a second. That's how much energy it would take to do that. That's real.
It's real. Yeah, no,
But
I mean,
that's what's
insane.
weird. Like, that's radar.
And you've had Ross Coulthard on, that guy?
No, I have not.
He's an interesting guy from Australia. They talk about stuff like this, and it's just, what's really hard about this stuff is you can never, it's so nebulous, you know?
Exactly.
Because, we can talk about the CIA, we can talk about all these things that are provable and exist, and there's names and dates and things, and you could go, they manufactured this, or they...
Yeah.
With this stuff, we're talking about government agencies without a name or a name that's unknown to us.
Yeah.
In locales we've never been.
Yeah.
In underground cities. It's all very speculative for my taste. I don't doubt that some level of it happens, obviously. But we're talking about, I don't know how to even approach it. There's so many people talking about it that probably have no idea what they're talking about. It's so hard.
A lot of schizophrenics involved.
A lot of schizophrenics.
A lot of people that are just complete scam artists that are
Yeah.
lying about having been abducted. There's a
Right.
lot of ego involved. People want to be special. They want to be the type of person that the aliens are really interested in. You know,
It's hard.
it's hard. And again, with no personal experience. But then when you talk to people that have had personal experiences, it's very odd how compelling they are.
I bet.
And they don't seem kooky. Like I talked to this
Yeah.
guy, Travis Walton.
Yeah.
He was abducted in the 1970s in the forests of Arizona. He doesn't seem crazy, man. He doesn't seem like a liar.
I bet he's not.
Yeah. Bob Lazar doesn't
Yeah.
seem crazy, doesn't seem like a liar. And not only that, but a lot of things that Bob Lazar said turned out to be true. In, I think it was 1989, when George Knapp first interviewed him on television, he was hiding his face, but he was talking about Area S4. Area 51 wasn't even confirmed back then. That wasn't something that they really confirmed. The government didn't confirm it until they tried to expand the boundaries of Area 51 in the Obama administration because too many people were going out there and filming things.
Right.
So they had to go, no, the place where you can't go is way further because you fucking assholes have good telescopes.
Right.
So he was talking about something that was completely unknown to the general public because it wasn't even just Area 51. It was Site 4. It was S4. And he talked about this place that now we know for sure they were doing these black ops, these black funded programs where they were creating military vehicles and they were flying people in and out of that area.
And who's doing it? This is a level of, we would imagine this is like military intelligence that is not.
No oversight.
No oversight.
Yeah, no oversight.
President really doesn't know. Congress doesn't know.
Have you ever listened to you ever watched the Jeremy Corbell documentary on Lazar?
No.
You should watch it.
I would like to.
Fucking crazy.
Where is it?
It's on
Netflix,
Amazon,
YouTube? Okay,
Netflix.
Amazon.
It's on probably all those things.
Because that's the thing about me. It's like Congress doesn't know. President doesn't know. And then there's a lot of CIA stuff where they don't know about this. But this feels like another subterranean layer that very few people know anything about.
And the way you're going to get these things done, like if you do have something, you have to back engineer it. Who do you bring in? Well, you bring military contractors in because they make jets.
Right.
They make spaceships.
That's right.
Those are the people you bring in.
That's right.
You're not going to just get your...
And they sign a bunch of documents and they don't say anything and they're surveilled to make sure they don't say anything.
Exactly.
And if they say something, you kill them.
So the Lazar story was he worked for... fucking what is the lab in New Mexico? What's that place that? Why am I forgetting the name? The place that Lazar worked for in New Mexico. God damn it!
Los Alamos?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Why am I forgetting that? So he worked at Los Alamos Labs. They denied that he worked there, but he was actually on the employee roster. And there's articles in New Mexico in one of the local newspapers about Lazar being a genius who put a jet engine on the back of a Honda. Like he was a crazy propulsions guy.
Right.
That was what he was interested in. That's what he. Clearly a brilliant guy. When you talk to him, when you listen to him talk, like clearly brilliant. And so they brought him to Area S4 and they said, figure this thing out. And they had this spaceship that was sitting in a hangar.
Yeah.
And they had an American flag sticker on it. And he said his initial thought was, oh, that's what's going on. So all these people that are seeing this thing, this is ours.
Right.
It's okay.
Right.
Makes sense. Then he started looking around it. And he started getting, first of all, he said it was 3D printed or something because it didn't have any seams.
Right.
And then it's not designed for human beings. It's designed for something that's 3 feet tall. And it doesn't have any controls inside of it. So there's some sort of a connection between the mind of whatever the fuck is running it and this thing. And then it had some very bizarre generator inside of it that he said used an element that was unknown. This element was called element 115. They have a stable version of this element. They bombard it with radiation, and it creates this sort of gravity warp that allows it to bend space and time instead of using a traditional propulsion system.
Right.
So they didn't even, this element wasn't even proven until somewhere in the 2000s with the Large Hadron Collider. So they got a glimpse of this element. So now this element is a real element, but we don't have a stable version of it. But supposedly Lazar did. And one of the things that they allege is that he escaped Area S4 with a piece of this stuff, a piece of this stable element, and that he's been hiding this forever. So one of the things he did with George Knapp was he made a video demonstrating how this element bends space and time around it.
Right.
And it's like,
I gotta watch that doc. It is interesting.
very
I've never.
weird.
It's the one area I've never gotten super into. It's very difficult.
The Corbell documentary is excellent. It's
very difficult.
It got me way back into UFOs again.
Yeah.
I was ready to dismiss them again. I'm like, God damn,
Ready to leave.
I'm back. But that's what supposedly it looks like. That thing right there on the desk.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's the sport craft.
And that's what transported Hitler to.
Yeah, to Argentina.
Argentina.
Well, that's where it gets weird too,
Yeah.
because the Nazis were very interested in like advanced technology.
They were very
and the
interested
occult.
in it. And
They
the
were
occult.
into the occult. Yeah.
All of these big constellations of power are interested in the occult.
Why is that?
No idea.
Probably because they feel like that evil and good are real things.
And that they can, well, for sure. And I also think that they try to, they're interested in sources of power. That seems to be something they're interested in, sources of power.
Yeah, and back in the 40s, people still believed in witches. They probably completely believed that there was sorcery was real.
That's right.
Some way to, to use spells and powers. And if you're trying to like run the world like the Nazis were, and
Of
you're
course.
on meth, you're on meth too. That's
You're
another
on
thing to
meth
think
and you're
about.
trying to run the world. That's amazing. They had no idea that it was just all of the stuff, the witches and everything they believed, it was just so that Kris Jenner could get a third head.
All right, should we wrap this up?
Thank you so much.
My
As
pleasure,
always.
brother.
It's
It's
the
always
most
great
fun.
to hang with you.
I'll
Always.
see you tonight.
Yes, we're gonna have fun
Yes.
tonight at the club. That should be a good time.
Awesome.
Ron White's gonna be there.
Yes, love it.
We're gonna party.
We're going to have fun.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Thank you again.
My pleasure.
We'll
brother.
talk soon.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.